All right, so this is the We Ain't Shit podcast.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. All right, yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, we just starting and we ain't shit, right?
And we ain't shit.
No,
so
we're not.
It all works.
No,
All
we're
right.
not. All right, so what are we starting with?
So I think we should start on the Ayesha Curry topic.
Well, first, let's give a brief introduction.
Yeah, I thought we were
Because
doing the intro.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows
I
this.
completely forgot.
You go first, Kevin, because this was mainly your idea. And
All
You're
right.
The master.
Well, no, I mean, like, okay, I'm Kevin. There you go. But, no, I kind of want to go, like, how we met. You know what I mean? Like, where it all started, in a sense.
Right. Let's do introductions.
it was
Okay.
1987.
All right, so, I'm Kevin. I'm Brown. I don't know what else to say. I'm producing this podcast, and that's it so far. I ain't shit. Yeah. All right, who's next?
All right, so me and Kevin go way back.
I thought you were doing the intro. I thought you were going to say your name.
Lakeview Middle School
Wow, this man ain't saying his name.
here in Florida.
Yeah.
Back when the man was a little chubby.
Okay. Well, bringing up my chubby days.
Yeah, I
Okay.
went through middle school, high school,
shit,
seen a
so-
lot
Yeah,
of crazy
right.
shit, a lot of crazy parties, prom,
Yes.
definitely memorable.
Crazy nights, for sure.
And even after high school, we connected to do some little projects. We made funny videos. Never really took off. Always had ideas, but never found the timing to really.
Timing was really bad.
Yeah, timing was
really
always.
bad.
was
But the
always
ones
bad.
that we did really well.
Yeah, got good views.
Yeah, they
good
got
views.
like 10,000 on one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember yours, which one it kind of was trending
Which one?
when you ate that pizza, remember?
Yeah,
You
the
remember which
roommate.
one I'm talking about? Yeah, the roommate thing. Yeah. That one took off. That one was actually really good. Yeah, it was timing for sure.
Yeah.
And then I met Natalie. That was middle school too, 7th grade.
Yeah, I think I've known both of you since middle school.
Yeah, 6th grade. We had
Yeah,
reading,
6th grade.
reading together.
Oh yeah, Miss Graham.
Yeah.
Shout out
How do
Miss
you remember her
Graham.
name?
Okay, all right. Who was our 7th grade English teacher? That's the class that we had. That's where I met Angel
We
too.
Had,
I forgot his
we
name.
had Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. Yeah,
and
that was
that
his name.
class was honestly such a good time.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. He
It's-
was a cool guy.
He was a cool
He
guy.
was a super cool guy.
And it was funny because I've always had like a lot of honors classes, which like a lot of people that were in that class ended up
In
having
honors.
a lot of
Yeah,
honors,
yeah, we're
AP,
smart.
all that stuff.
We were smart.
all
Yeah, we were smart as fuck.
And the funny thing was though that it was such a mixed group of kids
Yeah.
that we ended up having a lot of the quote unquote bad kids in there.
Yeah, we
And
did.
I don't remember. I mean, I don't know if you remember that one day.
Go a little
I don't
closer.
know what.
Hold the mic a little closer.
Closer.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I think you're mic 1, right? Hold on. I'll turn up your. Oh, it's all the way up.
Maybe my voice is just so low toned. I think it's picking up better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember. I don't know what the hell we were doing or what was going on. But there was just one day, I don't know if we all just kept like laughing or what it was, where he lost his shit.
He
and
did get mad a lot.
His face turned
did.
like a tomato red. He slammed his clipboard on the ground, basically said he was tired of our shit.
Yeah.
I remember we had Angel in that class.
Yeah, we did.
too.
We had Angel. I think Greg was in there too? Greg
yeah,
Gully?
Greg.
Yeah.
We had
Oh, I said his
Logan.
last name. Sorry, Greg. I'll edit
Shout out to
that out.
Greg, man. He's
Yeah,
done
what's
good.
up, Greg?
We also had red hair. I can't remember his name right
Stephen
now.
Fleming?
No, not Stephen Fleming.
Shout out to Stephen.
It's okay. I know who he is. I just can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
But I remember Angel and I almost got kicked out of that class just because I had the hiccups and we kept laughing about it. We literally got pulled out and he was like, so I don't know what's going on between you
Yeah.
guys right now, but if you guys don't cut it out, you guys are out of here.
Yeah, he was a cool guy, but he got mad very easily.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, we're 7th graders.
Yeah, like,
Ooh,
get out of here.
what do you expect?
But definitely good times.
it was. So that's where we met. We never had classes together, did we?
Nah,
We just
not even through high school.
Yeah, not even through high school. It was. Hello. Oh, hold on. We got a phone call. Caller on line 1.
Why is the phone even out here? Hold on.
All right, hold on. What'd that say?
Never had classes together.
Yeah, we never had class together. But I mean, we saw each other like between classes. That's usually when we talked.
You make it sound like a relationship.
Yeah.
It sounds like we saw each other between classes.
Yeah, we only had 5
Nah,
minutes.
fam.
But
you would get that tardy slip just to drop
yeah,
you off to class.
yeah. I was like, let me drive you to class. But yeah, 7th grade was when I first moved to Winter Garden, and that's where I met you guys. So that's cool. So that's technically where it all started for all of us. Was 7th grade.
Yeah, and then even in high school, I don't know if you guys, I guess you guys have never had classes together. I don't think
We
I
had
ever
lunch,
had
though.
classes with either of you in high
Yeah.
school, but our friend group
Yeah,
was
our friend group was huge.
enormous.
Yeah,
And so lunch was where everybody got to know everybody. for
Lunch was the spot.
We had like 5 tables.
Bro, we were the table to be at during lunch. That's for sure.
Right.
Everybody sat at a table, and not exaggerating, but it was true.
Yeah, and
Like,
even
everybody
people
did.
that weren't really part of our friend group, because we did have a core
Yeah, we
friend
did.
group.
We did.
But people kind of migrated, left,
Yeah.
came back and forth.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
not that we were popular or anything.
Yeah, nah,
but
we
I think
weren't popular.
Just very a very mixed group. We
Yeah.
weren't very judgmental when it came down to fundamentally. I mean, we all talk shit because we ain't shit.
Yeah, we ain't shit.
So
Were there any white
Never
people
been.
in our group?
Where's what?
not really.
Yeah, we had Jared,
You're right.
Yeah.
I think
the
Alright.
token white guy, Jared.
Jared
Alright.
was the only one, and
Yeah.
everybody else was.
But he
it
wasn't
was a
even
mix of
really white.
minorities.
Jared was not white. I was like, he ain't white. He's cool.
Jared Lum. Shout out to Jared.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Jared.
Jared.
But nah, he wasn't white. He was a cool guy. Yeah, that I think
Yeah.
him and Wow, yeah, that is it. It was just
Yeah.
Jared.
And nothing against white people.
No,
They
no,
just,
nothing against white people. We just
They just didn't really migrate to it. Maybe
didn't gravitate
because
to
we
it.
were so
Yeah.
mixed. And maybe because
Maybe.
our school, I will say, it's kind of like this whole thing where you have this mentality that it wasn't segregated,
right.
but it really was. Especially if you look at it,
The Guyanese people.
the guy.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the Guyanese people.
Shout out to the
Guyanese
Guyanese
people
All
of
the
West
Guyanese
Orange.
people.
Yeah.
That's Marcus's
Y'all were
peoples.
doing your own thing.
That's Marcus's peoples now.
right.
I don't chill with the Guyanese people.
Definitely, and there's definitely a segregation between even the same races of people. You
Yeah.
would say there's the, camel wearing.
Oh,
white
yeah, there
people.
was.
They
Yeah, there
segregated
was those.
themselves to their own group,
For
and then
sure.
the quote unquote popular Windermere kids segregated
Yeah,
themselves as well.
like Grant. I remember
oh
Grant
yeah,
was
that,
in
that
there.
whole swim team.
Taylor T. Ross.
T. Ross, shout out
T.
to
Ross.
T. Ross and
Yeah,
Grant.
T. Ross was in there. So yeah, there was that group too. But then at the same time, we all knew them though. We were all cool with them. But I mean, as far as just us, yeah, lunch was a
Yeah.
big thing. That's where we all.
I would say lunch and courtyard before school.
Yeah, well,
after school.
I never made it
not
before
so
school.
Much. No,
I was always late.
I mean when you ride the bus. You
No,
don't really have
I
another choice.
live right down the street. I was like, I could be late.
Yeah.
I live 5 minutes away. I don't mind being late. But yeah, lunch was where we really all connected and everything like that.
For
And the
sure.
cool thing is after high school, we all kept in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Most of us.
Mo-
I didn't get invited to a couple friends giving. What was it? The Friends Thanksgiving.
Yeah, don't
whatever.
worry,
I didn't get invited.
I only
to
been to one.
No, I don't think I got invited to that one.
I only been to
But
one,
you know
dude.
what? I wasn't offended because I didn't even know about it. So
It's cool. I think it was mostly reserved for the people that went to college. No shade. No shade.
The people getting degrees.
Yeah, the people
wasn't
getting
us.
degrees. They threw it together.
It
No
wasn't
shade.
us. Yeah, it wasn't
Right,
us
right.
because we don't have degrees.
when you lack
Don't have degrees.
education,
Yeah, right.
We
They're
don't
like,
get to eat.
yeah. They're like, where did you dorm? I'm like, well,
All right.
damn.
right?
So, most trending thing I think
Mm-hmm.
this week on social media has definitely been the Ayesha Curry.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's jump right
Can
into
Can you insert a clip of what she said
it.
when you're editing this?
Well, yeah, but this is audio too. I mean, I guess I could put audio.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll throw
audio.
some audio in there. Yeah.
All right.
So this
Because,
is
I
this
mean,
is the clip right now.
We should add the clip just so that everyone should.
Anyone who's missed it, or
Yeah.
just so there's no misinterpretation.
Right.
A lot of people. It's very interesting. A lot of
Yeah.
people are trying to say that those that don't agree with her statement, it's because we're taking it out of context.
Right.
I personally, I don't feel like I'm taking.
Did you watch
it out
the
of-
whole? I didn't get to
Yeah,
watch the
I
whole
actually
thing.
watched it this morning.
Okay,
because
good.
I
Thank
remember
God.
we talked
Thank
about
God.
it, and I was like, damn, I still haven't watched that shit.
Yeah.
So I actually watched the entire thing.
Okay.
And in my personal opinion, a lot of people are saying that, it's girl talk, it's a lot
Yeah.
of women, so, they get comfortable. Although I do understand
Mhm.
the idea, for example, we're all together, we're very comfortable talking to each other.
Yeah.
So one could say that, you might say things you wouldn't normally put out on the internet,
Right.
or that you might divulge a little more than you actually want to.
Okay, yeah.
But in my personal opinion, I just think that although it makes sense that she shared that, at the same time, she kind of went out of her way to say it.
Yeah.
If you watch the whole clip, they're kind of just talking about how do you deal with the groupies?
Right.
How do you deal with all these women wanting to get with your man when we all know low-key it's not even that they want them, they just want that check.
Yeah.
Be real.
Come on, man.
But
Bread chasers.
Yeah.
right. Cloud chasers, gold diggers, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But she kind of went out of her way to say, well, also, I don't know. Basically she's saying she feels insecure because she doesn't feel like she's getting attention from men. Where I just feel like, one, I understand as a woman where she's coming from, especially like if you've been in long-term relationships.
Yeah.
You do kind of have that feeling where like, what if this doesn't work out? Will I even have options?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll say I've only ever felt like that at times where I wasn't in love, or where I felt like things were a little shaky,
or got stale.
Yeah. And even for me, I'd say, and this is me personally, I don't think that it's something, I don't know. I just feel like even if she felt that way, it's like you're kind of broadcasting to every dude in the world, like, yo, hit my line. You feel me?
I think,
I mean,
but
basically,
yeah, she is. But then I think like the biggest thing too is, I know she has Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, all she has to do is go to her comment section, go to her DMs. She's going to see dick pics. She's going to see dudes trying to holler at her. It's like, it's there, but she ignores it.
Let me go on her Instagram real quick.
Go on. You're going to slide in her DMs?
Yeah.
Go slide in her DMs right now.
Go to see what she posts.
I want to make an example out of this.
Right. But, it's also like, shout out to Amina, my best friend. She was mentioning to me how in the past, Ayesha Curry herself has put down and slut-shamed those women who do put themselves out there, who do post what some people would consider more provocative pictures or say more provocative things. And it's a little weird how, because she's put herself as this image of like, I'm not going to say the all-American woman, but this housewife, this, mom. She dresses very conservatively, and she talks against those who don't dress conservatively. Yeah. That now she's vying for the attention of those men who do go for those kinds of women. Right. So it's like I see all these memes and all these posts that are saying how
they're crazy.
She's she basically wants the attention from that dude at the gas station, or those dudes that just have dick and lies for her.
Right. And then I seen that on Twitter too. I seen a lot of women defending her, saying that they want that, but then at the same time, you try to do that in the club or something like that, then what are they gonna say? They're gonna call you thirsty. They're gonna say some shit. They're gonna fucking put you on blast. But then yet they want the attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, I'm looking at her IG right now, and I could definitely see why nobody's sliding these DMs, why no one's commenting shit, because she's not showing no ass. She ain't shaking no titties.
Yeah, she doesn't show. She's
showing her family, her trips, and her man and shit like that. So I mean, she's showing her family well put together. So I mean, what does she expect?
I think
like someone to comment on a picture with her daughter and be like, "Yo, ma, who's good?"
Right. And I think the biggest thing is, and I compared her kind of like to Michelle Obama in a sense, because it's like we know who you are. You're a beautiful woman. But we know who your husband is, and we respect your husband so much that we're not gonna, disrespect you as well.
Right.
So everybody loves Steph Curry. Everybody, they know what he's done.
Even the people that hate him,
right? Even the people that hate him love him, and they respect him. So it's like because we know who your husband is and how much respect we have for him. We're gonna like kind of like translate that respect over to you, so that you get the same thing. We're like, oh, we know it's Ayesha Curry.
Right.
Let's not be crazy about it. So she's a very respectful woman.
And
we know who she is. He has, he has 2 kids with her.
3 now.
3 now. Okay, he has 3 now. And we've seen her. His kid on the interview where she was singing. Was that Drake song? or whatever. But
I didn't see it.
I seen that. It was hilarious. She was cute.
Yeah, they're just like such a wholesome family.
Yeah, they're a cool family.
Here's
You know?
here's how I truly feel about the whole thing. She's dumb, all right? Like,
Go ahead, bro.
She's dumb in the fact that it's 2019. Like, you
Right.
gotta be aware of what you say and how you say it.
Yeah.
Because what we're gonna do with it is we're gonna take it out of context.
Yep.
We're gonna meme you.
Yep.
And we're gonna bash you.
Right.
We're
Not
gonna
only
clown
we're
the
gonna
fuck out of
bash
Yeah,
you,
exactly. Yeah.
but we're gonna bash your husband, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they did.
He got clowned.
He
She
did.
got clowned. Everybody got clowned. And it just wasn't a great situation overall. Now, can
Right.
I understand where she's coming from? Of course.
Yeah.
She's talking about insecurities. Everyone feels insecure. Like, I mean,
all the time. Yeah.
I've been in a relationship where niggas was constantly in my girl's DMs.
Right.
And
Yeah.
at the time, my shit was dry as fuck.
Facts.
So, I mean, I'm looking at it
Mines are
like,
still.
damn, like, if she were really up and leave, she got mad options. I don't got nobody.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
So, it could
So
definitely
she's
make
looking
you
at it
feel-
through that
Yeah, like,
glass. In a
I mean,
sense,
she
yeah.
shouldn't be, because she shouldn't think that stuff will ever up and leave her. They got a nice
Right.
family.
Right.
But like she talked in her insecurities,
Mm-hmm.
and she was bold for it. I can kind of give her props because I'm talking about my insecurities here on the podcast, but I'm
Right.
not out on fucking, what is it, Red Table Talk?
No, but
Yeah,
yeah, see, that's the thing.
Talking
That's
about my
such a
insecurities.
big
It's
show on
it's
the
a big
internet. It's a big platform. Yeah. So
Facts.
her going on there and saying it wasn't. It didn't make any sense. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like that's a problem that should be fixed behind closed doors.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
that
mean,
should never be some broadcasted out to the
at the end
world.
of the day, and I don't know if you guys noticed in the video because I watched it like 7 times.
Okay, perfect. Because I watched it.
When she was talking,
Yeah.
they didn't let her finish. That the white lady to her left, like, grabbed her hand
Isn't
and
that
cut
Jada
her
Pickett's
off.
mom?
That's she's actually half black, half white.
Okay.
And that's
Gotcha.
Steph's mom.
Okay,
Oh,
so
so-
okay,
so
see,
Steph's mom was
even
there.
know the, I don't know the
this
family
is-
like
It
that.
was actually okay. So
News
just
to me.
to give a little context of the like the Red Table Talk itself,
Yeah.
was a Red Table Talk with the wives. Like, basically, they're like the basketball wives, like the very top. It was his mother, who is married to his father, who was also a very big basketball player.
Right.
Her
his dad was
daughter
balling, for sure.
is married to a basketball player. They're all married, and then the wives of her other sons as well. So
Yeah.
basically, it's all the women in that family talking,
Yeah.
to them, and
Right.
they are all married to very prominent basketball players.
Right.
Okay. Well, Steph's mom cut her off, and it was
Trying to
almost
save her.
Yeah, it was,
Right,
that's
I was just
exactly
about to
how
say,
I
that's
saw it.
probably why
was
she
saving her,
did
'cause
that.
She
She was
was
like,
like,
"Whoa."
everyone was like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
what
what
are you
he saying?"
saying?"
Because she
Yo,
came
shut
out of
the fuck
pocket.
up, my
She
guy.
literally she went out of her way to say that.
Right. She
Yeah.
really did. She
And I mean, she's a good-looking lady. I mean, she's not like
she's beautiful. Yeah.
She's not a
She's
10,
beautiful.
but she's beautiful.
No, she-
like she's not conventionally,
Her face is a
like
little-
Well, she's
like-
not what we nowadays we call. She ain't like bad, you know.
Right,
and maybe
yeah,
that's
but
just
she's
because how she
beautiful.
portrays herself.
Right.
It could be
but-
because
but
how she
there's
portrays herself.
There's nothing wrong with that, In the
Yeah.
eyes of someone else, they're gonna be like, yo, she's bad,
right.
But what we call bad nowadays,
It's Instagram model, like
right.
Instagram
She's
thoughts.
not that. She's not that. You
Yeah.
know. So, but
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
we got so used to seeing them thoughts. man.
right. We got used to seeing ass every other post on
Right.
Instagram. I mean, I'm
Skinny,
I'm not
really
mad, but
skinny
yeah.
girls, fat asses.
Nah, I be looking at things.
and oh yeah, oh yeah.
I like my bitches
Yeah,
BBW. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Some meat on this.
But no, another thing too is Jada was like, and this is a good point. She was like, the only attention you need is from your husband.
Yeah,
Right, and she
said
also
this.
said that she might not notice it, but her husband does.
For sure.
And
no,
that's the
for
way
sure.
it goes. Because in my relationship, I can understand where she's coming from when she says that Steph is like one of those really nice guys, very
Right.
friendly.
Very, yeah.
My boyfriend is also a friendly ass
Shout out to her
dude.
boyfriend.
Yeah, shout
whoever
out to
that is.
Gio.
Oh, there you go.
And love you. But it's one thing that I always say to him is like, I hate friendly ass dudes.
Right.
Because on one hand, like, I'm a friendly person. I'm the
Right.
type of, like, I'm a very personable person.
Okay.
So for me, on one hand, I understand being personable. I understand being friendly. But on the other hand, when you are so friendly, it can give people the wrong idea. And so, I can understand where she's coming from with that. But at the same time, it's kind of like you can't, like, even though like you might always notice these things and you might always notice these women, like, you know, looking at your man or whatever, sometimes you don't notice it on your own end. So where like my boyfriend, I can picture, you know, I can point those girls out from the moment they look at him. You know what I'm saying? I can already see those girls that are kind of like, all right, like I'm gonna try to at least like.
And she probably sees that too with Steph.
Exactly,
does,
but she might not see it within herself or like her own side because
she's so like
not
oblivious
looking
to it because of how she's in like a secure relationship.
Right, and I feel like, I mean,
Exactly.
come on, you already have a family, you know, a great family. They're a beautiful family. You know, you already have a lot of things.
Right.
You know, is attention the one thing that attention from other men, is that the one thing you really need?
Right. And I feel like it's bad because it's starting to, the same women that are defending her, which there's nothing wrong with defending her.
Right. She's insecure. No. If
Right.
she feels insecure, there's nothing wrong with that. Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
But the same women who are defending her are blaming him.
Right.
And they're saying that he must not be giving her enough attention.
Right.
He must not be doing enough. You know, he has to be the one that is making her feel this way.
Right.
And I think that that's wrong because at the end of the day, she's not saying she wants that attention from him. She's not saying that he's lacking in giving her that attention. She's saying that she wants to know that other people.
She wants to know she's still got it going on.
Right.
That's
Low
pretty
key,
much.
she just wants to see she's
And as
still
someone who's
battling
had, you know,
that.
3 children, I can understand that. But at the end of the day,
How? You got 3 children?
no.
Oh, what a twist! What a twist!
0
Where they
children
at?
on this
Okay,
side.
where they at,
But, you know, as a woman, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
you know, I can understand where when your body has changed,
Right, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
where
After you
your
have
life
babies
has
and all that, yeah.
changed. You
Yeah.
might kind of feel like, whoa, like when I was, let's say, 18 or I was 21 and I had this banging body, hadn't had children, because your body does change. You know, some people snap back.
Yeah, I've seen
Some
that.
people
It's crazy.
snap
back.
It's crazy.
Like
Shout
one
out
of
to-
my
shout out to
exes actually.
Kenyatta.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
You know exactly
Yeah, I
what
know
I'm talking
exactly
about? You saw it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, I know who you're
God.
talking
Shout out
about,
to you.
yeah.
Shout out to you.
Shout out
We
to
know
you.
who you are.
Right.
Yeah, we know who you are.
You
Shout
know,
out to you.
like my cousin's girlfriend,
don't-
Kinara, one of my best friends, she has 2 daughters.
All right.
She recently had Kaylani.
Okay.
She's super cute.
The singer? Just kidding.
Right.
Congrats.
But, you know, I would say within the month, she was back to her, you know, petite body frame.
Right.
And
Well, she must have worked out before the kid.
no.
Oh, really? Oh, never mind.
No,
Okay.
she just, it's her natural body type. And
Okay.
I know that she didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
She didn't feel like she snapped back. She didn't feel like she was looking as great, you know, whatever. But she was. She was
Right.
looking amazing. And she's a type of person where you, by looking at her, you wouldn't even tell she has children because her body's so on point.
Right.
And
That's
so with
That's dope.
Ayesha, maybe she doesn't feel like her body's on point anymore. Maybe she
Okay.
just, you know, I get that she just wants to know that she's still attractive in other people's eyes. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, when your significant other tells you like, no, like you're beautiful, you're fine, I love your body, I love this, I love that.
Right.
It doesn't always feel like enough because sometimes you feel like that person is just saying that to you to make you feel better.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. I understand that part, you know. Like, I would be like, yeah, you know, that like the classic, yeah, you don't look fat in that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like
Right.
that. But, I mean, you know, at the same time, you know, they're with you. They love you.
Hey, I
You
love
know.
me some stretch marks.
Right.
So,
Bro,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's natural.
yeah.
You know? So, I mean, like, she has to, I feel like she has to realize, I mean, it's Steph. I feel like if he wanted another girl, he would have already had another girl.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, but you know, he know.
That nigga happy.
Yeah, he's happy.
He ain't leaving
He's
her for
happy. He has
nobody.
3 beautiful kids. You
There's
know,
no scandal going on.
there's no skin. Yeah, he doesn't.
Right. I
He's
mean,
not. He's not the.
hopefully-
skin-
Imagine we seen that in like 5 years from now.
Bro.
He pop out with some badass bitch. And I
Oh,
would be
Steph.
like, damn, Aisha.
Hey,
Yeah, like, I mean, now
Steph
I
Curry
feel
with the
you.
shot. Yo, he got the shot, bro. That'd
Nah,
be
he
crazy.
not gonna do that.
He wouldn't do that. No,
No.
like I said, that's why I kind of compare them to the Obamas because you know they're a very respectful family.
Right.
You know, in the NBA, you know, so everyone knows
And I
who
would
they
say
are.
like in the, like, you know, I'd say at least
In the
like
world, yeah.
nationally or even
Yeah,
in the world,
for
yeah,
sure.
like when people see Steph, they see a guy that is
Family
happy.
man, yeah.
He's a family man.
Big family man, yeah.
He's a very nice dude.
Right.
And he doesn't have problems with people. So at the end of the day, you know, nobody is going to want to beef with him.
Yeah.
Because even if, let's say, they didn't respect him as much, they know that he has 100 other people that will back him up regardless.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, if you kind of have to respect where you are in life, and you have to respect your position. And at the end of the day, if you're going to be with a man who's heavily respected, it's like if you were dating, you know, like,
I feel like she
no
wants a
one's gonna,
scandal
like, try
to happen.
come at you.
Yeah.
That what?
I feel like she wants a scandal. Maybe she wants a scandal to happen. Maybe she.
You
I
think
don't,
so?
I don't think
Yeah,
she wants that.
she
I don't
wants some
think she wants
spice.
that.
She's like, just
So,
like,
I mean,
slide in the DM.
we all agree that it's okay for her to have insecurities,
Right.
but
Sure.
she definitely
Everybody
messed up by discussing it on that platform.
Yeah, that was the wrong platform
Right.
to do it.
Wrong
You know,
platform. All right.
Right.
I feel like if she did it like on Twitter or something, it wouldn't have been that bad.
I mean, and even then, I just feel like it's like women are saying, like, it's woman talk, this and that.
Right.
Look, I totally get it, and I get the comfortability of the situation in which she said it.
right.
But even like Steph's mom tried to save her from
Yeah,
doing
because-
it.
yeah,
This is not the place. There's a time and a place for everything, and that was not
Right.
the time or the place in
Yeah.
that moment to speak
I
on
feel like
that.
maybe she was trying to stop her because she was like, oh, I got to protect my son's image.
That
Maybe she was
too.
going for it like that. Maybe that was her, you know, whole initial thing behind it. But, you know, at the same time, even if he wasn't who he was,
Right.
that's still something I feel like you should do like behind closed doors for sure.
Facts.
I feel like if you're like, yeah, you know, I'm a little insecure about something, but like saying that you seek that attention, it's just like,
Right,
you know
because
what
if
I mean?
you're happy, there's no reason that you should, you know, like, it's nice, but like, I'm the type of person where, like, if a dude slides in my DMs, or if like a dude, you know, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, it just doesn't, it's like, okay, cool, like, I guess you liked my picture or whatever, but you don't know me. You don't know, like, everything
Right.
that comes with being with me. You probably wouldn't even last a month
Right.
being with me, and not in like you ain't shit way, because I'm not shit,
Yeah.
but in like you know, this just, it's not attractive to me. It doesn't make me feel better. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm that bitch, because like, for what? Like, I have someone who loves me. I have someone that I know I'm happy with, and someone that I know will do anything to
Right.
keep me happy, and, you know, is happy themselves.
Right.
So it's just not, I don't know. I don't see the allure in
Yeah, I
that
feel
whole
you.
thing.
I feel you. Yeah, so I just feel like, yeah. I guess we all agree.
We all
Right.
agree.
We all agree, right? She shouldn't have said it there.
So,
you know what I mean?
so speaking of my ex,
Okay.
that just had a kid. Shout out to her. She knows who she is.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Can we all agree that she's like a solid 10?
Oh, yeah, dude. Solid 10, easily.
I would give her like a
10?
9.5.
Okay,
Because I'm
I'll
a
take
very
that.
personality-based person, and I don't know her personality well enough.
Okay, so
to give
it'd be
her
a 10
that
if you met her.
extra 0.5.
Yeah, it'd be a 10 if you
So
met
I'm
her.
not wrong for what I did. You know,
What?
she posted a picture
Okay.
on,
I like this.
it was like one of those Facebook stories or whatever. You know, I was just a little curious.
Right. right. Go ahead.
So I definitely DM'd her.
Oh, no.
And just had a little conversation, caught
Shout out
up.
Ayesha Curry her.
Caught up a little bit. She's definitely doing good.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
you know, me
I guess she
being-
looks like she's doing real good.
Yeah,
she is.
I seen like a lot of business things going
Yeah,
on with her, so
right.
that's what's up.
And me just, you know, because not to put my business out there, but I lost my virginity to this girl. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah. So you have a special connection.
Yeah, so,
yes.
you know, just being a little curious. You know, I
Right.
don't really see her posting the baby's father, so.
Yeah, no, I know.
asked her.
Yeah, that I see that too.
You seen that, right?
Yeah.
But
So
from what it
I
seems like,
asked
he's
her-
traveling a lot.
Yeah, because he's
they're
big
engaged.
in what he does.
They've
Right.
been engaged for 4 years.
right.
Oh,
And I'm not gonna put her
no.
business
Right.
out there. Or
That's why we're not
I don't-
saying
I
who
don't
you
know.
are. We're
They
kinda
haven't-
being
they
as
haven't
vague
been-
as possible.
They haven't been engaged for 4 years.
Yeah.
They've been together for 4 years and they're
Right.
engaged. And I'm not gonna put his business out there, but what he does. But I will tell you, he's a retired major league sports player.
Yeah, he
Oh, he's
he
retired.
plays sports.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he plays.
didn't
The
know he was
minute
he
retired.
played.
she said
sports.
that, I was like, I can't compete.
Right.
I can't compete. Go ahead, do your thing, girl.
That's hilarious.
Enjoy your happy relationship.
That's
I can't
so
compete.
funny. That actually reminds me. My friend was telling me a story the other day. He was talking to this girl, and they kind of stopped talking for like a little minute, but he kept in touch. But then he wanted to talk to her again, but then next you know, she's like, "Oh, I'm kind of talking to like this NBA guy."
Oh.
But I mean, I feel like that's the thing. Like, especially in Orlando,
Where
a lot
do they
of
find these niggas?
I mean,
A
bro,
lo- a lot of
when,
girls either
All-Star
date-
Weekend
Yeah,
happens,
All-Star
everybody's going
Weekend,
downtown,
yeah.
getting all dressed
sure.
up. They're trying to catch a fish, bro.
a lot of girls date like these like a lot of girls date athletes. I've seen a lot of girls with athletes, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. I can't do that.
Yeah, but I think that the whole allure of
I think
an
it's the money.
athlete, it has,
has
because
to be
like,
the money.
okay, I will say like,
I'm cool.
there are some, really good looking athletes.
Right, no,
right?
yeah.
And they all have a lot of money. But
Yeah, we're not
one
gonna say it's all the
thing
money.
That also comes a lot with dating athletes or, rappers or, anybody that's in the limelight.
I'm a rapper.
Is right is scandals and cheating comes with being with somebody in the limelight like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it's gonna happen for sure,
Right.
but at the same time it's one of those things where if you're going out of your
I'm gonna grab a
way,
beer. Sorry, I'm gonna miss your
no
second.
dude
Go ahead.
I feel like it's one of those
Can I
things
have a water?
where it's one of those things where when you're going for someone who's in the limelight
Yeah.
intentionally,
Right.
you are
You have
like,
to know what comes with it.
Yeah, you have to know what comes with it, and
with
you
it. Yeah.
it has to be partially with the money. Like it
Right.
can't just be, yo, where's that water at though?
Oh, you said you want to
He
I
wants
said I
water.
wanted water.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus doesn't care about me.
Right.
He wants
it
me to
just
die.
showed.
Yeah, he wants me to die. But no, yeah, you have to know what comes with that. Because they're always traveling and everything like that. And then especially a lot of rappers. A lot of rappers talk about,
Right.
oh, I got a girl in this city, I got a girl in that city, this and that, blah
Right.
blah blah. So you might be one of those girls.
Right. Yeah, you might
You
think
know,
you're a main,
yeah,
but you might just be a side.
You're the main in that city, maybe, but you're not
Right.
the main girl that he's taking on the red carpet or
Right.
so opening season and shit like that. So
Right.
I think that's one thing that. Oh, thank you. That's one thing that you have to know when it comes with that. I mean, it's cool if you get to date an athlete. I mean, you'll be set. Obviously, what's her name is doing pretty good.
Yeah, she's doing
Right.
great.
She's
She's
doing
doing
really
great.
well. So I mean, it's cool to date an athlete,
No,
but
I should probably bring her on here one day because I mean,
I was
she
gonna
could
say
definitely
we
talk
should
about her
date
business.
athletes.
She could talk about her
Maybe.
business. I don't know if she probably wants to talk about her personal relationship. And by the way, guys, I didn't have any water. I only had like 100%
Sink water?
Cambodian
Ooh.
breast milk.
Oh.
Wow.
That way you
I
can go
love the
big and
breast
strong
milk
like
scene.
Torment.
I love
Shout
the
out to
breast
Game
milk.
of Thrones. I love Torment.
Oh, I thought you
He's
were
my
talking about Dave
favorite
Chappelle.
character.
Dave Chappelle said that.
Oh
too.
yeah, Dave Chappelle said
Oh.
that. But Tormund's drinking breast milk
Oh, okay. I was
from a
like,
giant. So
I was like, bro, I thought Chappelle said that.
no, yeah, Chappelle did say that. That was one of my favorite skits. The what was it? The P Diddy. Yeah, the P Diddy skit.
That PD skit was
All right,
hilarious.
so yeah, should probably bring her on here one day
Yeah,
so she
yeah,
could
we
talk
can-
about
we
what
can
it's
have her
like
on
to
there
be
for sure.
a stay-at-home mom and run businesses, and maybe she could,
Right.
promote a little bit what she does and
Yes,
get people
sponsor.
into that. Yeah,
Right.
Get a sponsor.
Maybe give us a
Oh yeah, turn those
insight.
beer bottles around. Let's see if we can
Right.
get a sponsor from Guinness.
Guinness
Some free
Blonde.
promo.
You know, this
Yeah.
is actually a really good Guinness. It's
Yeah.
got like a
Go ahead.
orange, like an orangey aftertaste, like citrusy aftertaste.
Yeah, would you recommend it to people?
Yeah, I definitely would.
Okay, so
Publix had it on sale.
shout out to Guinness.
$5.97. So shout out to Guinness.
yeah, this segment's been brought to you by Guinness.
Right.
Yo, watch they like
I
come
can't
after
wait
us for that.
That'd be awesome. That'd be dope.
No, like they come after us. in a
Oh
negative way.
no! We said it was great.
Yeah.
how
Yo,
would
your
that-
beer's
Yeah.
great. Please don't come after us.
Yeah,
in
we said it
negative
was a
way.
good beer. We never,
Right,
we
right, no
never,
hate,
we
no
didn't
hate.
try them. But no, that'd be cool. She'd be a dope guest.
Yeah,
so
she'd
we
be a
can,
dope guest.
I'll let you hit her up after we post this one.
All right.
Right.
Let's
but
see what
also, maybe some segments away so they don't know who she is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Not immediately. Not
Yeah.
immediately.
No.
For sure, not immediately.
Right.
But
So I mean, you were talking about your friend that got disconnected from a female and reconnected, and it's funny because I actually just reconnected with a female. It was last week. Hey, Louis, go inside. Sorry. Play with your tornado inside.
it's okay.
Sorry about
it's
that.
all right, bro. We gotta get him a mic.
Louis, inside. Back when I was a kid, my parents only had to tell me like one time.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's okay. It's all right. They're kids. They're kids.
But
Louis,
inside is good. There's air conditioning. There's
Yeah.
TV.
There's not us.
come on, play with your tornado inside. You can come out later. Those aren't my kids, by the way.
right.
Just in
No,
case.
no one at
I
this
don't
table
have
has kids.
Yeah, I don't have kids.
Yeah, let
But
them
they're
know.
really great kids. They're really great kids.
Yeah, they're dope.
It's
So far,
Mm-hmm.
I've known her for like an hour. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. So you were talking about your like I said, I just reconnected with a female not too long ago. We had an interesting conversation because 3 years ago, I had my first and only miscarriage.
Yeah.
And that came up in the conversation. And you know what she asked me, I found like very interesting. She asked me what I would do, what I would have done if she didn't miscarry.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure for those of you that follow me on Facebook, you would see that I've been posting like baby stuff, like how I want a kid. I'd rather be a father than a husband.
Surprise! This is what it was.
Right. Caught me off guard.
And I told her that I would have wanted kept it.
Yeah.
But then after I said that, I was thinking a couple hours later, and I thought to myself, like, did I say that because like who I am
You hit
now?
him with the got him.
Right.
Or would I have really wanted to keep it back then? Because, 2016 Marcus is a lot different from 2019 Marcus.
Oh yeah, we can never compare years because those are very different.
Right, and I feel like the older you get, some people do stay the same, which is very weird.
Yeah, they do.
But I would say that the three of us, we are evolving every single year.
Yeah.
We're becoming better every single year. So not that 2016 Marcus
Was a
wasn't
bad
good
Marcus.
guy. Yeah,
He was an asshole.
but he was definitely
Shout out 2016 Marcus.
That
a
said it all.
different person.
That said it
Shout
all.
out, yeah, shout out.
Shout out to 2016
Yeah,
Marcus.
that was a good year, Marcus.
Yeah, so I mean,
Vintage.
and then I started thinking about like would I have gotten an abortion?
Right.
Right.
And then that what's also been trending lately is a new Georgia law that's been signed as far as abortions and how after the
6
heartbeat?
weeks. Yeah, once usually the heartbeat can be detected at or after 6 weeks.
Okay.
So once the heartbeat is detected,
So you have 6 weeks.
you have
kinda, right?
yes, but
Okay.
the fucked up part about the whole situation is that most women don't know that they're pregnant until at or after 4 weeks. So
the window
amount
is-
of time you really have an option is
Right.
extremely limited.
Right.
And it basically doesn't give you an option. On
Right.
top of the fact that it's punishable by law, even if you go to another state and have it done, and it's not done within Georgia, just
Right.
because you live in Georgia.
Right.
Okay.
That's messed
Well,
up.
one of the good things about it, not many people I think that have been sharing on Facebook know it, but even though it's been signed, it doesn't go into effect until 2020.
Facts.
On top of that,
Okay, you have time.
there's speculation that the courts will,
Take it back.
the courts will.
I don't know.
What's
I don't know the word.
What's the word for it?
No,
They'll
we ain't shit.
overturn
Remember,
it?
We ain't shit.
We're not
so, I
educated.
mean,
Right.
they basically just cancel that bitch out.
yeah, they're gonna.
They cancel it out.
Right.
By 2020 or in 2020, that way it's not really enforceable.
Okay.
Right. Ohio.
But
is
let's say
doing the same.
hypothetically, it goes through,
Okay. Hypothetically.
and Georgia women cannot get abortions
Right.
in the state, and we
Right.
persecuted if they get them out of state. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's messed up.
I definitely don't agree with the law. On one hand, I do think that there should be maybe limitations.
Right.
For example, like late-term abortions. Once you reach a certain trimester, after the first trimester or whatever,
Yeah.
you shouldn't. I don't think that it's feasible because, if it's something that you really wanted to do, I know it's a hard decision, but I
Right.
think it's one of those things where you kind of have to put your life into perspective and be able to say, I can't do this right now,
Yeah.
or I can do this right now. Or even
Right.
if you can do it, this is not the person that I want to do this with.
Right.
I don't want a tether to this person for the
Right,
rest
right,
of my
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But definitely, I don't know. I just feel like they have more laws on a woman's reproductive system than they do on guns. And it's just crazy because, I'm not against guns. I don't think that we should abolish, the ability to have guns.
Right.
But how can we have less laws on that
Right.
than what a woman does with her own body?
Right. Yeah.
It makes
that's
no
dumb.
sense.
Yeah, that gets
It's
dumb
just
too.
nonsensical.
And I actually saw something very funny on Facebook, and it was something along the lines of it was a repost from Twitter.
Yeah.
A female saying that vasectomies are reversible, so why don't we enforce mandatory vasectomies on all males until they're
Damn.
ready to conceive?
Oh, so like snip
And
it
then-
and unsnip it?
Yeah, and then after
Yeah.
that, it was like, oh wait, you wouldn't want to do that.
Right.
is it because you don't want us making choices for your body? And that really hit me hard because, like, one, I'm not. I stand kind of wishy-washy on the whole abortion thing, but that definitely made me think. Like, I definitely wouldn't want to have like a forced vasectomy. Like the fuck, like
right, yeah,
you know, it's not even
100%
reversible.
Right, so then you can lose that.
Yeah, so I could lose the opportunity to have a child.
Right.
I wouldn't want someone to determine,
right,
you know, what I want to do with my own body, and
yeah,
you know,
I think like a big thing too is it's always gonna come down to accountability. You know what I mean? Like I know I got a buddy of mine, him and his girl, they have a calendar set up of when they can't have sex.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh,
you know
which is
what I mean?
ovulating?
Yeah, with the ovulating thing. So they
hey,
keep track.
I don't know about y'all, but that's the best times because that'd be what.
Stupid. Stupid.
I feel that though.
So dumb. but nah. So they have a calendar of when they can't, you know, have sex. And then the craziest thing was they ended up having sex on the day that they couldn't, and now he's having a kid.
Oh wow.
Right. So I mean,
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So in that sense, it's like they know when they can do it. You know what I mean? I feel like you should always keep track of things like that.
But
I
it's
mean,
not
I'm sorry.
definitive.
That's never gonna happen to me because
No.
ain't no calendar gonna tell me when I can't and when I can't. Because if
I
I
think
come
that's
home
dope,
and
though.
you in booty shorts cooking up some food right there at the counter, girl. Like
I think that's
I don't
no,
care
but
what date it is.
I think
if-
no, but not that they can't do it. They
But
can't
they
do it
have to
raw.
Use, like,
They got to use
protections.
condoms. So on the days that they can't,
But I mean, who wants to use condoms?
Which I
though?
feel
see,
like
that's
that's
what
a
I'm
whole
saying.
other
They can
thing
do
too,
condom sex on
condom.
it's like a week, isn't it? Like a week?
Yeah, well, you know, the whole thing with ovulation is that as much as you
I'm so glad we have a girl on the show because I don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer
as
this.
much as you want to use a calendar or, you know, they have like
Right.
free promo, the Flow app, where you log your periods.
Shout out to was it Free Flow?
Flow.
Shout out to Flow app. Keeping
Right.
all these
Yeah,
females
yeah.
in check. Let them
give
know
us a
when-
sponsorship,
Giving
please.
us
Sponsorship,
little
please.
insights and whatnot.
We don't want people to have kids when they don't want to.
Right,
So
right.
give us a sponsorship.
You know, as much as you would want to, for example, I have the app. It
Okay.
works great.
Dope.
It lets you know when and when not.
What's that promo
And
code?
It also gives you like insights on
Okay.
certain things. You put like a lot of different things on there that will kind of tell you more about what's
And it's
going
pretty
on.
accurate too, right?
Yeah, it's almost spot on.
Right. That's dope. You know what I mean?
Super dope, super great app. But the thing is that nothing with the body is 100% definitive.
True. Yeah.
So
Very
even
true.
if you get your period every time at the same time every month, you
Right.
know, no deviations, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like sometimes it'll say I'm ovulating for a week. Sometimes it'll say that because ovulation happens really like the biggest point is one day. But
Yeah, that's the one day where you can get super pregnant.
super, yeah, your
Super
chances
wet, like a
super
slip and
pregnant.
slide.
Stop. Stop it, man. God damn it. Stop.
But the thing is
Fucking
that
We ain't shit.
we ain't shit. But
For real.
the thing is that for about a week or so, and even sometimes it's 2 weeks long, your chances of getting pregnant are still way higher.
Okay.
So even if, let's say, you have this week where you're not going to go raw,
Right.
let's say if you go raw the day after that week,
Right.
your chances of getting pregnant might
Still
still be
be-
super high.
Right,
It might
right,
not
right.
be at its highest point because you might not be at that day of ovulation.
Okay.
But your chances are still mad high.
Right.
So it's kind of like going off of a calendar. It's nice and it's very old school.
Right.
I know a lot of people like, you know,
I think
aunts
it's
and
dope. Yeah,
uncles.
no, I think it's
a lot
dope.
of people
Yeah.
in my family, that's how they used to do it. And for
I didn't
the
know that
most
was a
part,
thing,
you know,
too.
you know, you
I
didn't
didn't know
know.
that was the thing, so I went to his house. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, you are a busy guy. What are you doing? And then he said it was sex. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
But you know, I just feel like it's one of those things where if you don't want to get pregnant, if you want to be almost 100% sure,
Right.
birth control kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? You kind of
Okay,
gotta
yeah.
flip around a
Yeah,
little bit to
actually-
find out which one works for you.
Right.
But I mean, if you're in a committed relationship, or even if you're not,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna use protection, or even if you are, if you want to really be more sure, birth control is really just the best way to go because
Right.
condoms can break.
Yes.
You know, if you miss a day on your birth control, you know, things can happen, but the chances are so slim
Right.
because it's always like working through your body. You're always having at least some of a dosage in you.
I heard they got like a chip one now, right?
Yeah, you can put it in your arm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, I feel
Well,
like
they
that's
got a chip
trash
one
as
now.
fuck, to be honest with you, because like yeah, it's cool. You have a chip. You don't got to worry about missing it, this and that. But have you seen bitches that get that shit removed? Yo, fuck
I have
that,
not.
You know,
bro.
a funny story is this was like, don't judge me, guys. This was like a random
we never
hookup.
judge.
Shit.
This was like a random hookup, and this was back when I was all about, you know, the condom wave. Now, buddy, not like rubber, so it's a little different.
Don't catch
But
none though.
She
is
was
low-key
like,
the-
she
the
was
raw
telling
wave
me,
now.
she was telling me, oh, let's not use a condom. She was like, I got a chip in my arm, and I was like, what? I was
She's a
young,
robot.
so inexperienced. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You got a
Right.
chip in your arm, and she actually let me feel it.
Yeah, I
And
heard
she
you
was
could feel
like,
it, yeah.
you know, this is birth control, and I was like, bet. But you know,
Bet.
birth control definitely has its positives. You know, it does
Yeah.
help you avoid an unwanted pregnancy, and
Right.
to me, one of the biggest pluses about it is you get hella thick. Because one of my exes was on that shit, and she got thick, and
Okay.
you know, definitely made everything a lot better. So, definitely birth control.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? That
She got thick.
I know a girl like from a couple years ago who was excuse me, mad thick.
Yeah.
But then she got on birth control and she actually lost weight.
Damn.
She's still
Wow.
thick, but
Okay.
she lost
So
weight.
she got like slim thick.
She got slim
Well, I mean,
thick.
that's still a
Even
plus.
better, yeah.
That's still a plus. Like
That's
birth
what's
control
up.
out here giving you the body you want,
Right. So.
right,
the body I
right.
want you to have, or something.
Fuck the surgery. Sorry, Dr. Miami.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Birth control. But no, no, that's where I was going with it. I mean, there are options to prevent it, like in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I meant. Like the calendar thing is super dope. Yeah. Birth control, condoms. You know, there are things to, you know, be careful. But nowadays, I don't know what's going on, but it is the wave of going raw.
Which
Like,
I think,
I
like,
seen a lot of people like,
feels
oh, I don't use
good,
condoms.
But yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
what
not a
happened.
good
I don't know
wave.
what I don't know what mentally happened with me.
Little
like,
Wayne said safe sex is great sex. Or
Always wear a-
whatever the fucking line is.
Yeah,
safe
yeah.
sex
safe
is
sex
great.
is great text. Always
Always
wear
use
latex.
latex.
That way you never get that late text.
That
Right,
I'm
right.
latex.
Yeah, that I'm late
It's
text.
fire. Bars.
Right.
Shout out to Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Condom rappers were cool, by the way. So
At
I
one
don't-
point in time.
Yeah. Sorry, Kendrick.
Yeah, at one point in time, like I used to pride myself on having like a jar full of condoms.
Yeah,
like,
because
huge
Lil Wayne
ass-
told me.
And like
then-
also it's kind of like a
I still
a
got the jar
symbol.
too. I still got the jar, and it's still full of condoms.
I still know the line. It's perfect.
don't
We
use
know
them.
that's why we like condoms.
That's the cat.
Oh, I was like, bro, we about to die. Okay, but no, yeah. So, and nowadays it's like if you ain't going raw, something's wrong with you.
yeah, like
And I'm
girls
like,
get offended
I'm like,
sometimes
I
if
don't
you
know
Like, do you
don't.
not want me?
Right.
Like,
Do you
nah,
think
bitch,
I
don't want you
have
to my
something?
kid. Like I
But
just
that's
met
the whole
you.
point.
Like,
Like
bitch.
you might have something. You know,
Yeah.
Orlando. I think
Oh,
it's like Orlando
I
and
seen that.
Atlanta.
I seen that list.
Have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Atlanta.
high,
Atlanta.
Atlanta's
Atlanta's
number
the
one.
huge-
I think
the
Orlando's
hugest.
like in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta's up
I
there.
think like a year or two ago it was a little higher, but
Yeah.
we are some of the biggest cities for
Right.
HIV.
Right.
And so, you know, the whole no condom thing, you know, with the hookups and shit, like, you know, it feels good.
Yeah.
Things that happen in the moment. You're kind of just like, fuck that shit. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to go to the gas station real quick and
Yeah.
cop some condoms.
Right.
But at the same time,
smart.
we are in Orlando, my friends.
Yes.
And it's not really the safest, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the really the
Low
move.
odds. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't dabbled,
Right.
but my dick doesn't itch, so I'm okay.
Facts.
And I've gotten checked. So
and you know what they say, like you don't really believe it until you feel it. And like I guess I'm one of those people because I can't fathom that there's a whole bunch of bad bitches walking around here that got HIV. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but
there
yeah,
probably is.
they probably
Right, but
is.
it's not even
There
only
probably is.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know,
You
bro.
don't have
I
to be
just
a bad
feel
bitch
like
to have HIV.
I don't know about you guys, but don't you feel like a sense, and nothing against people that have caught STDs before,
Yeah, nothing
but
offense
don't
you
you
guys.
feel like a sense of pride of like, damn it, can't nobody ever say I had like chlamydia or some shit?
Right.
you
No,
feel
it's
me?
dope. It's dope because I mean, I don't know if you guys have had close calls or you were like, oh shit, was that?
No.
No,
Okay, good. That's
no,
what I'm saying.
thank
So
God, yeah,
that's
no.
why some people, I know some people that are like, yeah, I slept with this girl and I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
But then they got tested and like, oh, dude, I'm fine. Like things like that. Like I've heard stories of people like, one girl hit my homie up and she was like, yo, I got something. Then he went to the
I
doctor.
would like got what bitch? What you talking about?
Yeah, but then he went to the doctor that same day she hit him up and he got tested and he was fine. So that's why I was just like, that's weird. So she got that from someone else. She tried to blame him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I know there have been close calls, but it's cool to say that we're good.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's
we're
also
good.
kind of like
It sucks for other people.
People
Yeah.
think of like herpes, which is another big one.
Yeah.
Chlamydia, HIV, but they don't really talk about like syphilis too much.
Oh,
And
syphilis.
syphilis.
You know,
is-
that would be a dope ass name if it wasn't an STD.
syphilis.
Dope rap
Yeah,
name.
but you know,
Remember syphilis?
the thing. Stop.
Oh, dog name?
No, he's talking about his kid.
Oh, don't call me fucking kid. That's syphilis.
Yo, syphilis, get down.
Wow.
No, but you know, the whole thing, you know, with the whole STD wave is
Yeah.
syphilis, especially in men, is one of those things that you might not see symptoms of
Mhm.
for a long time.
Yeah, don't
But
say
what
that.
one,
How are we
one-
talking?
Yeah, that's like, yo, hold on, don't say
you
that.
may never,
I-
you may never know.
I gotta
And
go
that's why
check.
getting tested is so important. Like, you know,
Yes,
at least
please get
once a
tested,
year,
people,
or
please.
if you are very active with different people,
Yeah.
every 6 months, because syphilis, although people don't talk about it that much, and maybe they should talk about it more, is
Right.
one of those things that will eat your brain when it reaches a certain point.
Damn.
And you can end up going crazy. People might think that, you know, you might think that maybe I have a psychological problem
Right.
or whatever because you're not who you used to be. But really, it's an STD fucking
What
all
if
your
it's making
shit
me a
up.
better person? Like, I'm
A
not who
better
I used to be, but
person.
I'm like way better now.
Like, I want to give a shout out to my
Right.
syphilis.
Thanks.
because-
Shout out to syphilis.
Made me a better man.
Yeah, it made me who I am today.
Well, I mean, I've been tested a few times,
Good.
and I do donate blood quite regularly, and I mean,
Right.
they let me keep coming back. So
yeah, so that obviously means that you're
Nothing
clean.
wrong with
yeah,
me.
yeah. So yeah, please get tested, people.
but yeah,
Please get
Please
tested.
get tested. That's a very important thing.
Yeah, because
I
one
mean,
thing is like it sucks to have it, but
Yeah.
it kind of really sucks if like let's
If
say
you don't know.
catch it, get into
Yeah.
a serious relationship,
Yeah.
and then give it to the person you're with
Right.
because they're not gonna think, oh, you must like have caught this from someone before you got with me. They're gonna
Yeah.
think you were being a dog, like you were
Right. Yeah.
cheating
Yeah.
on me.
Exactly.
and
So
it ruins everything.
Get tested. I
Get
mean, like, I
tested.
get that maybe someone might be afraid to know, but it's
Right.
better to know, and then than to go around spreading it.
Right. I
You
think
know
it's,
what I mean?
it's such a crazy concept that, and I've met a lot of people like that, not even just with getting tested, but with going to the doctor or even the dentist in general.
Oh yeah.
They
People
have
just don't
this
want to know if they're
fear.
sick.
Right. They have
Yeah.
this fear that they're going to go to the doctor and they're
And
going to find
die.
out they're dying or
Yeah.
they have cancer, they have this or they have that. But I mean,
y'all ain't never seen the
like-
movies. You get a cough, you go to the doctor. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
You have
WebMD.
6 months to
It's
live.
WebMD, bro.
I mean,
yeah,
but
but then you
like-
can make it the
Like
best
a
6
lot of
months of
movies.
your life.
Right. Okay. If y'all
But then
had,
you would have never known.
if y'all had 6 months to live,
Oh man.
what would you do with your 6
This
months?
is crazy. This is
With my
that's
6 months,
it's a deep topic. Go ahead, Marcus.
same shit.
Wake up, go to work, come home.
I mean,
come on.
Yeah.
I know you do.
nah.
something
I mean,
crazy.
I would do some different shit. I would definitely do some different shit. I'd probably travel,
yeah, for sure.
blow my savings,
Yeah, for sure.
just because. I mean, I got 6 months. Now I'd be mad if I don't die within 6 months. Now I got no
Ain't got no
money.
money.
And now you're in debt.
Now I definitely got to
That
go back to
does
work. I'm
happen.
in debt.
Yeah.
You know, like isn't there that movie with Queen Latifah?
Latifah.
Latifah.
Come on, boy.
Yo,
Shout out Queen Latifah.
I said Latifah.
It's okay.
Queen
know you're talking
Latifah.
about. We know you're talking
What?
about.
And LL Cool J.
Oh yeah. I forgot the name. I know you're talking
And
about.
what was the problem? The that scanner.
Like malfunction or
scanner
something?
Malfunction.
Okay.
And it was diagnosing everybody with a brain tumor or something.
Wow.
Like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a funny
Use
movie.
your
But I mean, she
air.
definitely enjoyed it because
Yeah.
she was working hard.
Yeah.
And she was just living like a boring life. And then when she found out she was about to die, she traveled. She went. You know, I think the movie ended with her skiing somewhere up north. Or
Yeah,
something.
I
I've only
remember
seen
ending in
that
snow.
scene.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's very vivid because that was a very vivid.
She's a great
It's
actor.
like a
Yeah.
powerful
Actress. Yeah,
moment.
actress. She's
yeah.
a great actress. Yeah. No, but yeah. So, yeah, get tested.
Man,
Get tested.
that's
at the end
starting
of
to
the
scare me. I'm about to go get tested this
Right,
week.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
listen.
nah. Well, I mean, 6 months to live. Yeah, I do the same thing, bro. I travel, but I mean, like that. It kind of sucks that we'd have to wait until that situation comes up to be like, let me go do something.
See, and I think that's like, you know, for example, with that movie, I think that's such an important like lesson it teaches you.
Yeah.
Is that like life can get mundane, you can get stuck in the rut,
Very.
doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to remember that this is, you know, back in our high school days,
Yep.
YOLO was the phrase. And
YOLO, Drake.
people kind of used it more as like I'm going to do crazy, stupid
dumbass
things
shit.
now.
Yeah, dumb shit.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah,
Let me
dude.
jump off
I
this
might
building.
die, but YOLO.
Yeah.
Right. But,
She might have some YOLO.
YOLO, yeah.
Shout out syphilis.
And people, they kind of
I'm
used
just
it
kidding, I'm
as
just
like I'm going to do shit that might fuck up my life because I only have one life to live.
But it was a dope concept too.
Right.
I mean, people were doing
Especially when
dumb
you're young.
shit, but at the same time, they were doing stuff.
Right, but I think it's more so. It's kind of like a
Molly
thing that
YOLO.
we have to. One of those things we kind of have to keep like in the back of our minds is that this is our only life.
Yes.
So we have to try to enjoy it as much as we can. Not, bail out on families or bills or building shit. But more in the sense of take that leap, start that business or start that podcast.
Shout
or,
out We Ain't Shit.
do that
This took us
thing.
how many months?
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
probably
It
been
took
a year,
it took
right?
a while. It took
Oh,
it
yeah,
took a
we've
year.
been
Yeah,
it's
we've been
been
talking
a
about this for a
minute.
minute, and it's crazy. It was gonna be you and your homies, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll produce it, and then it ended up being me, you, and Natalie.
Right.
Yeah, it was gonna be me, Alex Burrell. Shout out to Alex and Abraham Neves. We're definitely gonna bring him on as
Yeah,
a guest
we're
because
gonna
Yeah,
have
we gotta have him as a guest. for sure.
maybe we should bring them both on at the same time because
Shit,
the back
I mean-
and forth would be
Well, they have to share a mic. I only could connect 4 at a time.
okay.
So, but yeah, it was gonna be you guys, and then I hit you up like later on, and then you're like, "Yo, we should have Natalie on." And I'm like, "Yeah,"
Because I think
I was like, "That's a great idea."
it was right after like me and Natalie had like a dope ass high discussion for like what was it, like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, we were talking for a minute.
By the way, we're in Cali. Weed is legal.
Yeah,
Well, I don't smoke.
I'm just
so.
kidding. Yeah, we're
none of us smoke.
We're
We
high
were
off-
just
we're
high
high
off
off
life.
Yeah,
Right.
high off life. But yeah, go ahead, my bad.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
you're having a
and then
dope
I was like,
conversation.
she would be like definitely a dope person to add.
Yeah,
Especially since she's a female, so you're gonna have in certain topics that we discuss,
yeah,
you're gonna have different opinions than us.
yeah. Like at the beginning, you had great insight.
Oh, thank you.
Right. I mean, and then, yeah, you got that woman, perspective, and we need that
Yeah.
because as dudes, we would just be
Right.
like, yeah, I think she'd say this, but we don't fucking know. But so that was great that he mentioned you. So I was like, yeah, definitely. But
Thank you guys for bringing me on.
yes, and you're a permanent host on this show. We're all the
Facts.
hosts. But nah, this was something that we had in the works for a minute. So it just all came down to budgets and everything like that. Like I was gonna actually have a studio space. That didn't really work out. I was gonna split that with my cousin. So but I mean, I feel like with this and everything like that, we could make it into something, and then
Yeah, we got all
eventually,
the space here.
yeah, and then
Right.
and then we can eventually have like a legit place to go
Right,
instead. Of,
yeah.
So that's later on. That's later on.
And just so you guys know,
yeah.
we don't have mic stands. We're actually holding our
Yeah,
mics.
if you're watching, then you see us holding our
holding
mics.
the mics.
But but see, that's the thing. Like the equipment that I had that I was gonna get, it's gonna be like $600 for
I
everything.
see.
I mean,
and then
we
all
ain't
this
shit right now. We ain't
yeah,
shit
we
right
ain't
now.
shit.
So
You know how
we
much all this
could-
costs? $150
Yeah.
Look at that.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you
it's just
don't-
the
Budget.
beginning.
budget, and then I can make it sound amazing. You want
Right.
auto tune?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, but yeah. So I mean, that's why I was like, I gotta start somewhere because I've been trying to do
Yeah.
mad shit like this.
Yeah.
So once I hit order on Amazon, I was like, all right, this is it. This is
legit.
it for sure. So
And I actually just ordered the 3
The
mic stands while we were
so
sitting
now
here
we
setting
can
up the
just have them
podcast.
like
So
that and not
we'll have
have
that
to-
next
Yeah,
week.
my bicep is
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
on
we're
fire.
I mean,
swole right now.
are y'all righties?
What?
Are y'all right?
I'm a lefty, but
Oh,
the
see,
camera.
I'm a
I've been
righty.
switching back and forth.
my hand is blocking in the camera. That's why
My
I went like
left
this.
arm is definitely gonna
See.
have some more dexterity.
Oh yeah, you're gonna look swole. That's what I'm saying.
And
That's a big fact.
there was something that I actually left out when we were talking about
Go ahead.
abortion, and that actually could bring up the next topic because
All right.
I grew up in a dysfunctional family. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what it's like for another child to grow up in an even more dysfunctional family
Right,
and what that
yeah.
can do to your mentality and the type of person that you might turn out to be.
Right. Yeah.
So I really feel like when it comes to the mother not being able to support the child or not wanting the child at all,
Yeah.
Right.
abortion should definitely be legal. Like
Right.
why would you force someone to bring another life into this world if they don't want to bring that life into this world.
Right. Yeah.
Like, how do you think they're gonna treat them?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and you never know what crazy ass person they might turn out to be. They could be a school shooter.
Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah, you never know.
as far as school shootings,
Okay. Wow.
Florida
Ouch.
did just
Was that in Florida?
was it
Yes,
Florida?
it's
Yeah, it was.
Florida.
Florida.
I didn't click and
just
see where.
passed a law allowing teachers to carry firearms.
Oh, that
in
one.
the
Okay.
classrooms.
Yeah.
Which I think is ridiculous because we all went to West Orange together.
Yeah.
And
if those teachers
so
had guns.
You you guys probably remember that one teacher who threatened Mr. Larson's life.
Yo, shout out Mr.
Shout
Larson.
out to Mr. Larson.
Dope
Best
principal
ever.
Dopest
Dopest
principal.
principal ever.
Best
So dope.
And actually, let's give a quick shout out to Cadillac Jackson.
Cadillac.
Because he definitely made school a lot more.
He did. He was a
fun,
great- he
lot
was a
more
cool
worth
dude,
Going to.
for sure.
Besides the education aspect of
Cadillac
it.
Jackson. We're already at an hour, by the way.
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what's up. We already got through an hour. Okay, so yes. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so when we were in high school, it was closer to the end of our years
Right.
there, and I don't remember exactly what happened or why, but there was a teacher. I think that he was in some hot water over
It
something.
was that science teacher, right?
I think he was.
Someone said Mr. Larson was like fucking his wife.
See,
I
who
never heard
knows?
about this. I don't know what the
Oh,
hell.
you don't
got.
know
Yeah,
what
dude,
I'm
there was like
talking
this
about?
thing
I
where
have-
like this guy wanted to like kill Mr. Larson.
I have
like,
no.
this
This was
science
senior
teacher.
year.
No,
No, I think
this
it was
was when we
junior,
graduated.
or it was after maybe.
Yeah, we
2013?
graduated. No, we graduated.
Okay,
that
yeah,
happened.
so that's why I
Yeah, it
don't
didn't
know.
happen during school. No. This was when we graduated.
Okay,
I know what you're talking
yeah.
about.
It was right after we
And
graduated.
I think it was like a whole thing with like Mr. Larson was like messing with the dude's wife.
Wasn't he married?
No, I
no,
don't think he
Mr.
was.
Larson.
Oh, he got married
had a
after.
kid, but
He
yeah,
got
wasn't
married
married
after.
His kid
like
was in our school,
2014,
too.
2015.
Yeah.
Definitely did not look like Mr. Larson.
No, yeah,
I was like,
no.
but he was a cool guy. He was a cool. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
He was a cool guy, but did
Yeah.
not look like Mr. Larson. But yeah, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, and so it
can't believe
kind
you didn't hear
of
about
brings
that.
in the topic of
The whole gun thing.
the whole gun thing
Yeah.
because it's, like teachers are not trained to do these kinds of things.
No.
They aren't. I feel like they're not psychologically evaluated enough to be able to say these teachers are, although they're here for the best welfare of our children, they're mentally stable enough to be allowed to carry firearms in school. And if you think about, especially at our school, and there's, our school wasn't even that bad with fights.
No.
Now,
What?
if our
It wasn't-
school
it
had
wasn't crazy.
fights,
It
but
wasn't
it
crazy.
wasn't
We
like
had
there
fights.
had to be schools that were way worse than
Of course,
ours.
of course,
hell
of course.
yeah.
Because you
Right.
see, our school was like a perfect blend.
Yeah, we had a good one.
We had the hood niggas,
Shout out
and
to
then
the niggas.
we had the
shout
prep
out.
niggas.
Shout out to the
And a
prep
lot
niggas.
of times, the hood niggas were really cool with the prep niggas.
Oh yeah,
Right.
everybody was cool. Everybody was super cool.
So it was a blend. It wasn't like just straight like hood niggas throughout the whole school. It wasn't
Right, yeah.
like that. It was a perfect blend.
Yeah.
And for the most part, people did get along. But you'd have
You'd have your fights.
you had your fights.
Yeah, your
Right.
fights. Yeah.
I
And
mean,
I was always there to watch
shout out to Xavier who put a kid through a wall. And,
Shout out to Baggio, who got put through the wall.
Oh, you
And-
know who got put?
Yeah, it was Baggio.
Oh,
But
sorry, dude.
it wasn't like a one-sided fight where
It was
Xavier
a one
was
wall
just
though.
whooping Baggio's ass because they were both big ass niggas. Like you
Okay,
remember when
okay.
Xavier put Kyrie. I'm not gonna say.
Oh,
his name.
don't say his name. I know. Don't say his
Remember
name.
when
Shout
Xavier
out
put
to
that
you.
one dude in? Shout out to you in the trash can.
Right.
Yes, that was
Okay,
hilarious.
yeah,
Sorry,
so
bro.
Xavier was a big ass nigga. Baggio was a big ass nigga, and they was fighting over $2.
Over
Bro, that's
$2.
crazy.
Over $2.
That's crazy, bro.
And
that doesn't make
they were
any sense.
fighting. Baggio got put through the wall, but I mean he definitely
For
hopped out,
$2.
and they was still fighting after that.
Yeah.
But there was a big ass hole in our cafeteria
For a
for
minute.
For $2.
For a long time. So,
No sense.
with the whole guns, teachers having guns things, it also kind of makes you think okay, to bring in for example, a lot of the police shootings and killings that have been happening in the
Right.
past few years. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
happening forever, but it's been more documented,
Yeah.
recently. They're trained for these situations, and everyone's excuse is always they're in a high stress job. They're worried for their lives, this and that. Now, I remember when, I don't know if you guys knew Mr. Thompson. He was a math teacher. Shout out to Mr. Thompson.
Coach Thompson.
Coach Thompson,
Yeah, he's my sister's weightlifting coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a situation where a student wanted to fight him.
Wow.
And-
don't fuck with Coach Thompson.
And it's don't fuck, yeah, not that's a real ass
Don't fuck
dude.
with
So
don't fuck with Coach Thompson.
and that situation does come up, not extremely often, but often,
Yeah.
where students get hyped up. They
For sure.
maybe they have things going on in their personal lives or their home lives or whatever. Or maybe they're frustrated because they don't understand the material. They hate school, whatever the case may be. And this teacher might just,
Pull
they
the
might feel
gun
like
out?
they're no.
Oh.
This teacher
Like,
might feel
what
like,
did you put on the table? Like,
they might feel like these teachers are putting too much pressure on them, or that they're on their case a little too often. So they kind of get hype with the teacher and they want to fight them. Now, let's say we have a teacher who is not the most.
Hold on, sorry to cut you off. Is it still recording when the? Okay.
Right.
We're hour and 5 minutes.
All right.
So, sometimes we might have these teachers who everybody has their own personal life. Everybody has their own problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they might be in a situation where they themselves are not the most stable in that moment.
Right.
And I think that allowing them to carry firearms within the school, at their desks, or even, however they're going to stipulate this whole situation, I just feel like it can increase a lot of situations that could be de-escalated into being escalated
Because they have a gun.
because like you just did, like, let's say some
Pull
kids
it out
are
of-
acting out and they just
Yeah,
pop that
put
shit
it
on the desk and be
table.
like, what happened? You want to?
What's good, son?
You wanna,
Yeah, right?
Yeah, what's good? So,
Like, what up?
I just think that
What's number 5?
I understand.
I said I released this class, not the bell.
I am the bill.
Did I just
I
see
am
somebody
school.
zipping up a backpack?
Yeah, pull out the fucking heater.
Right. And so, I feel like I understand that the school system hates spending money on our education because apparently it's not important.
Right.
They just want to have the idea or show that it's important to them.
Yeah.
But, I do understand that maybe they don't want to spend the money, but I think it makes more sense to have trained personnel on.
I mean, that's why we have
there.
cops on there,
See, but this is the whole thing with having cops
Officer
at
Curry.
schools. Shout out to Officer Curry.
Curry was
Yeah.
dope, yeah.
Super real.
No, what was the other one? The old white guy.
I don't know.
He recently just retired. I saw
I've
it on
seen that,
Facebook.
yeah. I forgot his
I don't
name.
know-
He
I
was a
don't know
cool
his
guy.
name. He was super
He was
cool
even
too.
from Lakeview.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cool guy, though. I forgot his name.
But this
Yo,
is
Officer
the thing.
Curry was big as fuck,
He
and nobody
still
was trying
is.
that nigga. Nobody
You would not
was trying
step
that
there.
nigga.
Officer Curry will fuck you
But this
up.
is the thing. In
Like
the
nigga's
whole,
bicep was ripping out of his uniform.
He couldn't even fit.
in the Nicholas Cruz case, school shooter.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They were trying to put charges against the police officers that were on site because they didn't really do anything. And the judge ruled, this happened in Florida.
I saw that.
The judge ruled that the police officers are not required
To protect.
these students. They're not
What?
required to do anything in such cases.
Why are they there?
And exactly, why
Why
are
are
they
they
there?
there?
Their whole slogan is to protect and serve. But who are they really
Bars.
serving if they're not
Themselves.
protecting?
Themselves, yeah.
And
for sure. That's
That's
fucked up.
why I disagree with you 100%. And we'll get into a different topic maybe another time about how I feel about police. It's some mixed feelings. Yeah, there are they're police officers at school. What are they called? Their official term?
What?
The cops at school. What are they called?
I can't remember.
School cops.
Nah, they actually have
like a term
School
for
cops.
it.
Yeah. Damn, I can't think about it. Anyways, whatever they're called.
21
Yeah,
Jump Street.
they're at school, but you see, if not to say I'm a crazy shooter, but if I was a shooter,
Yeah.
right,
Shooting cops.
that's who I'm gonna go after first because that's the person that's gonna stop me.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking,
Hypothetically speaking.
you know what I mean. So if they're going after them first and catching them by surprise, because I mean, you got a kid walking up on you, just another high school kid. You don't probably notice him in the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't got your gun drawn, and he just shoots you. Like, what are you gonna do? He's dead.
Right, yeah.
And that's why I feel like school teachers should be armed. Now, I'm not saying every single teacher in the school should be armed because it's not mandatory. It's
Right.
voluntary.
Yeah.
So, and they also have to take, they do get trained. They have to take 140, it's either 140 or 144 hour course to be able to carry within the school.
Okay, so they're not just walking
Yeah,
on
so you're
there.
not just
They get
walking on-
psychological
Wait,
training or like evaluations along with
I
that?
don't know if they get psychological evaluations. Maybe that should have been introduced. But you see, here's the thing. I don't think that every teacher would be armed.
Right.
I think it would be those teachers that already have weapons at home to protect
That
their
have
family.
that drive to
Yeah, to
do
protect.
that.
Okay.
I feel like they would be the ones that would actually go through the 145 course because they want to protect their kids. They want to protect their students because that's
yeah,
like
a lot of them
are
are very close to these kids. Yeah.
Right.
And
They think of them
they
as
would be
family
the
too,
best
yeah.
defense because even if there's only like 16 armed teachers throughout the whole school,
Right.
there's only one shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's still
yeah.
16 classes that are being protected.
Yeah.
You got 16 barrels.
So
So you're going to get popped.
so
For sure.
I definitely think that, it's a good thing that teachers will be armed.
Yeah.
I think it's great that it's voluntarily.
Yeah.
Let them choose whether or not they want to be armed.
Right.
I don't think that, what's like one of our school teachers that was like really soft?
Oh,
Miss
wow.
Delgado?
Oh, I don't know who
Nah,
that is.
Miss,
I don't know
listen,
who that is.
no offense to Miss Delgado, bro,
I don't know who that is.
but I don't think that she would be one of the ones.
She was a
with
math
the
teacher, right?
gun. Yeah.
Yo, we
She
used
be
to
getting
roast
tight.
her on her toes, bro. Her toes
Oh,
used to
so-
curl up out of her sandals.
Right.
She wore sandals every day. For what reason? They used to
But-
curl up out of her toes.
Maybe
Like,
she had a condition.
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe she-
long
maybe she-
toe
shout out to Miss
syndrome.
Delgado's so
Shout out
condition.
to- shout out to Miss Delgado.
And I
We're gonna
think,
get sued.
and I was in a class with Colin and Robert and all of them. So you
Yeah,
can just
that's why.
imagine, bro.
Yeah, I can.
You can just imagine.
I can
Shout out
imagine.
to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Nah, but I see where you're both coming from. I understand what you mean, but I feel like if they get the proper training to do it, they shouldn't just come out, just out of nowhere with it. You know what I mean?
Right, I
If they get
agree.
the proper training, they understand, how to use the firearm correctly or when not to shoot somebody.
Right.
Because you can't shoot them when they're running away, right? Isn't that a law?
If
That-
they're
yeah,
running away,
that's
you're
not.
really not supposed to shoot them in the back.
Right.
But I mean, say they're running away to go shoot somebody else.
That's different.
They're still
Yeah,
a
yeah,
danger.
yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
you can.
Okay,
you can
yeah,
shoot 'em.
but right. So, if they understand, how things are supposed to be, and it should be selective for sure. It shouldn't be every single teacher because you don't know. Yeah, like you said, you don't know how teachers are gonna.
Right, and some
be.
people don't believe in using firearms.
Right.
As well.
Yeah, for sure. That's why if it's optional, it's not as bad. But I think proper training should be.
Yeah, as long as you get the proper
definitely
training.
should get proper training. You can't just come out with guns ablazing and you don't know
Right.
what you're doing. This ain't Call of Duty.
Right.
This is school.
I do feel that too. Like on one hand, I do feel like, and maybe it's just the way that things are going societal wise, what's
Right.
happening in the world.
Right.
It kind of does give you kind of like a negative feeling when it comes towards things like that. because
towards
you're kinda-
firearms. Yeah.
right,
yeah,
because
yeah.
you're like, if cops are out here doing it, what makes you
Right.
think that a regular person isn't
Right.
capable of doing the same thing? But at the same time, I do think that we have to kind of learn how to compartmentalize things and kind of separate things for what they really are,
Yeah.
not for the general view.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
on one hand, I understand where you're coming from completely, and I do on one hand agree with that,
Mm-hmm.
because if they are being trained, and as long as there are psychological evaluations, also
Yeah.
going in hand with that, kind of seeing
That would help
where they
a
are
lot, yeah.
mentally, if their stress levels already are at a point where they can or cannot
Right.
be given the ability to do this, I think it does change things a lot. And I understand the reason it was brought in, because these school shootings are just, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand. It's crazy.
And you know what's crazy? I was actually watching South Park like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I watched South Park.
I did too. That was funny.
And there was an episode where they touched on school shootings, and they made school shootings sound so normal,
right.
right?
That's what South Park does.
It was like a school shooting every day. And the only person in the town that was freaking out about it
Kenny.
was Stan's
Oh,
mom.
oh, never mind.
No,
I thought-
Stan's mom.
Okay.
So after the school shooting, this is how this episode started off. Of course, she got the call. She runs to Stan's dad, and she's like, there was another school shooting, blah, blah, blah. And then he's just like, what? Okay.
It becomes normalized.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
normalized it. And then what's really funny is that the whole episode, he blamed her craziness about the school shootings on her period.
Oh, wow. So manly of him.
Yeah.
South Park.
South
goddamn
Park.
it.
Shout out to South Park.
So dumb. But nah, that's
And I mean,
that's so crazy.
I guess we could touch a little bit about how I feel on cops here, because I actually saw a really disturbing video the other day where
yeah.
it was, I think it was two kids in the backyard. You
saw
seen
that.
it,
Through
right?
the
Shooting,
plank, right?
yeah, shooting BB guns or a cap gun. I think it was BB guns.
They thought that it was cap guns at first, and that's what the officer
But
knew.
he said it. He said, "I think it's a cap gun."
Yeah.
Before he even got to the fence,
Right.
he gets to the fence, says, "Put the gun down,"
And
and
so
then
shooting,
opens
right?
fires
Oh,
right
I
away.
seen that. I seen. Okay.
0.6 seconds.
Yeah. Someone timed it. Yeah. That's crazy. They didn't give him a chance to put the gun
And
down.
not
Yeah,
only did he
that's
not
crazy.
give them a chance, but this is some random dude
Right.
from in between the planks
Right.
of a fence.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is, and even if, let's say, if
Did he
if-
announce that he's an officer?
I believe
I don't-
so. I'm
did
not
he?
100% sure. But
All I
even-
remember was him saying, "Put the gun down" or something like that.
Right.
But then
but
the
the whole
fact that
thing-
there was no time.
Exactly. Even if
Yeah.
someone
You
said,
can't register
I'm a
that.
police
Yeah,
officer, put the gun
Yeah,
down.
Exactly.
How, if you said, if I was holding this water bottle and you said, put the water bottle down, I'm going to be like it's going to take me at least like 30
I need to know who you. I was like,
seconds
wait,
or
what? I
more.
gotta look
Yeah.
at you. Like,
Why?
Who was that? That
Yeah.
could be a joke. It could be your friend.
Exactly, and especially, or it could just be some random neighbor or
Yeah.
whatever. Like if you're doing something and you know what you're doing isn't wrong,
Yeah.
and someone tells you to stop out of nowhere,
Yeah, you're gonna be like,
your
what am I doing?
immediate,
Yeah, you're like,
like,
what am I doing
reaction's
wrong?
not going to be to just drop everything you're doing or to just stop. It's going to be, let me see who it is, let me see what's
Right,
going
so
on,
exactly.
and then decide from there, what I'm
Right.
going to do.
Yeah.
And 6 seconds or point 0.6 seconds,
Even worse.
it's not enough time to register anything, let
Right.
alone to register a cop telling you to put down a BB gun.
Yeah.
Especially if the cop thought it was a cap gun. At that point, it's just a whole it almost seems like he wanted to shoot them. And not to say that he did or he didn't,
Mm-hmm.
but why would you shoot young kids
Right.
when you thought it was a cap gun
Yeah.
for not putting it down in
Right.
0.6 seconds?
You know what their problem is? One, they're trigger happy.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you guys have ever owned a gun. I have. And when you get a gun, you want to use it. You know?
Yeah.
Like you wish a motherfucker would try you. You wish somebody would break into your house.
Right.
You know? Like you look for that reason.
Damn.
And I don't know if that's just me, but I
like a
feel
lot of
like
people
a
feel
lot
like
of
that.
people think like that.
Marcus on the couch late at night. Come on.
Just waiting by
Don't
the
do that
front door.
door.
And not only that, but as police officers, they're supposed to put their life on the line.
Right.
And they
Right.
don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They knew what they signed up
fear
for.
too much for their lives. They want to make sure that every night
They come home.
they come home
Right.
to their kids and to their wife, and I can respect that.
Right.
But why is it that in the military, soldiers have a rule on when they can fire the weapons or not? Like I don't know if you guys look into it. There's
No, I
literally a
didn't know
rule.
that.
I forgot what it is, but there's a rule on when they can fire the weapons or not. And if they fire their weapons early, if they break that rule,
They get in
there's
trouble.
consequences.
Yeah.
You know, here on U.S. soil, where you're supposed to protect American citizens, there's no consequences for when you when you kill somebody
Right.
that follows your commands or is unarmed or is not actually a threat to your life. There's
Right.
no consequences. Like there was this video, I saw it the other day. Dude had a gun.
Uh-huh.
He's by the passenger door of the car. He's on his knees. And the police officer tells him to drop the weapon.
Okay.
You know, it's not like he had the gun pointed at them or whatever.
Right.
And he drops it.
Uh-huh.
And the minute he drops it, they open fire on him and kill him.
Oh.
And he followed their command.
Yeah.
He wasn't a danger to their life. He was doing, and then he said it. You hear it on their camera. He says, "But you told me to."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that video.
I've
actually,
heard.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
that
says,
sounds-
"But
yeah, it
you
sounds
told me
familiar.
to." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, right before he gets shot.
how do you feel?
Yeah.
You know, like
I think like I'm not gonna not agree with you. That is messed up. And then one thing too is like, a lot of it is like taken out of context in the sense like people are always like, oh, but you didn't see the whole video. You know what I mean?
Right.
I hear that too. I hear a
I hate
lot of
when they
people.
say that.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people
I
saying.
saw
but-
what I needed to see.
Yeah,
nigga,
but then
shut the fuck
but
up.
then it's like
Right.
yeah, but then it's
People
like
try to make it seem like it's out of
yeah, but
context.
when you see what you see, it's like how can you still defend the fact that that they did that? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
people just want to defend something that's not that you can't defend.
Yeah,
They
it's
try
not
to
there.
find reasoning.
Yeah, it's not there. If it was like Marcus said, if they gave him time to put the gun down, they didn't put the gun down, they try to fire back, they turn around like no, or wave the
Right.
gun in their face. yeah, I would understand if if the cop shot him.
Right.
But if you didn't even get a chance to do what the cop said, and then they shoot you, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
right.
That's not fair.
And it was North Carolina. So, I mean, go figures.
Right.
North Carolina.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen, shout out to Hulu, it's on Hulu, a movie called
We need
Detroit.
sponsors.
We're
shouting everybody out. Turn the
I don't
Guinness
know
around, man. We need sponsors.
if you guys
Oh, my
have
bad.
ever heard of or seen the movie Detroit. Super good movie. And it's basically almost like a biopic. Obviously it has exaggerations and
Right.
all of the information isn't 100% obtainable, but it's basically about how Detroit was back in the day, like back in the flapper days.
Oh, man.
And one of
the what days?
Flapper days. I can't remember. I don't say like maybe it's like the 60s.
Oh, is that when they're like,
or
nah, see?
like
back
yeah,
then?
and like people
I
had
love those.
women would like were cutting their hair short to like revolutionize or like to show like rebellion.
Oh, okay.
But Detroit was it was a war zone. It was basically a war zone.
Shout out to Detroit.
Shout out to Detroit between
Eminem.
the black people that lived there and the
All the
police.
spaghetti.
And
Shut up.
it primarily focuses on a real incident that happened at a place. I'm pretty sure it's called the Algiers Hotel.
Okay.
And when you watch that movie, it really shows you how things were then. And even though the tactics that they used were very incorrect, it shows how even then till now, there are no real consequences for those police officers.
Oh, for what they did? Okay.
Yeah, and on top of the fact that, not to excuse the things that they did or have done, but back then it was legitimately like a war zone. It was insane all the time, 24/7. But we're in 2019. And many of these things happen even here in Orlando, where it is not a war zone, where people are just going about their lives in a normal way. And although there are those outliers that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing or that, are kind of crazy and creating situations, these police officers are not in heavy risk 24/7. They're not.
But that's not Atlanta. That's everywhere.
Right.
I mean,
It's
it
not
depends
only
where you
here.
at because
Okay,
I mean, there's some places where
Chicago. Some places in Chicago are still crazy at this point right now.
Chirac,
exactly. And so but there are many states and many cities and many areas where most are not like that. And so for people to use the excuse that they're protecting themselves, they're laying their life down to serve and protect and all these things, it doesn't really resonate with me because yes, you are putting yourself out there, but you knew that's what you were going to be doing at the end of the day.
Now, what they're mostly doing is taking niggas to jail over a couple ounces or something.
Right. I mean, shit, they'll send you to jail even, it's so crazy how they have these laws or they have these things put into place where if you are only carrying, like, let's say less than 20 grams on you, that you can get a fine for it. But even with that option available, many cops will still take you to jail and ruin your record and force you to pay all these fines and these, court fees and all these things and bail money, which could also result in you losing your job because you missed a day or, whatever the case may be, just to put someone in jail, just to, I guess, further their agenda or whatever they're doing. Because it's like we said earlier, it's almost like they think that they're fighting the war on crime by themselves.
I said that off the podcast, right?
Yeah.
That was funny.
They're fighting the war on drugs by themselves.
Hilarious.
Right, and it's getting to a point where it's kind of ridiculous because there are a lot of young people who, when you're young, you don't have the same mentality as you will. Like, we're all just about I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm 25.
25. So
Turn 25 actually in like 2 weeks.
Oh, you're about to be
Oh,
25.
right.
You're the youngest one here.
Yeah, the youngest one here. Like
So-
8 days. 7 days.
All right,
happy
bet.
early birthday.
Yeah, we might end up doing it on your birthday.
Is
Next
it a
podcast.
Saturday?
Oh, if it is, then for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna be off that. Yeah, it is. All right, bet.
All right, so we're doing a
It's gonna be an
podcast with Hennessy.
interesting
Hennessy edition.
But we're all older, and I can definitely say for myself, when I was 18, 19, 20, like I didn't think about consequences in the same way that I do now.
Right.
I didn't see the world and the reason for many things like I do now. I understand things a lot more deeply than I did at that time. So I think to kind of already put these kids in a bad position when it comes to their criminal records or, you know, their avenue in life or how they're going to be perceived. I just feel like it's not the right thing to do, because it's better to teach these kids than to just persecute them, especially for little petty things that it's not really necessary.
And actually, I have a great story on that, because I actually met a really cool cop, and he educated me. One, I was speeding. I just left
As
my
usual.
house. I was going down Daniels, going to McDonald's. All I wanted was some fresh, hot fries. So I'm doing like 60. And
on a 45.
I didn't even see this nigga.
On a 45.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
I mean, I was in a BMW 650. So I mean, what do you expect? You know.
Right.
I didn't even see this thing. He came out of nowhere. He lit me up like right before Stony Brook West. Like not Stony Brook West, Stony Brook Parkway. And I didn't have any drugs on me, so I was straight. But I did have my gun on me. And comes to the window, and I'm in a dealer car, by the way.
The knock?
Yeah. And he's asking me, you know, why I was speeding. And I was straight up. I was like, honestly, sir, this is a fast car, and I was trying to go get some food. I was trying to get some fast food.
I'm trying to get some hot fries. That's it.
I'm going fast to get fast food, sir. Come on.
He was like, all right. He ran my license and everything. At the time, you know, everything was straight. So he then came back, asked me if I had any guns in the vehicle, any weapons in the vehicle. And I said, yeah.
Honesty. Honestly. For
And
sure.
I wasn't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Unlike most of the time, you know, I wasn't doing nothing wrong this time. And then I told him I would feel much safer like if I got out the vehicle and he retrieved it himself.
Right.
Because he asked me to where it is. And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'd feel much better if I step out the vehicle. I'd tell you where it is and you get it.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And then I didn't have it holstered. And he educated me on the laws. Like, supposedly, you know, in Florida has that 3-step. It's got to be 3 steps away. That's bullshit. I'm going to let everybody know that's bullshit. If you do have it, it's got to be in a holster if you want it near you. Other than that, it's got to be unloaded with nothing in the chamber, locked in the glove compartment or something like
not
that.
easily accessible.
Yeah, not easily accessible.
Right.
I think that's what he said. And he just went over the basic gun laws with me and stuff like that. And then he started talking to me about the gun. Right. It was a Taurus PT 111 Gen 2.
Shout out to
Taurus.
Right.
I'm a Taurus as well, so that's the reason why I bought the gun.
Of course.
This man has an astrological pistol.
Right, an astrological piece.
Wow.
And he was asking me how it shot, and he told me he had looked into them before, and we talked for a little bit. He ended up not giving me a ticket.
Dope.
And sent me on my way.
There you go. See, yeah.
And there are cool cops out there.
There
like
are,
that.
yeah. There's a really bad image of police right now. You know?
Yeah, because, I mean,
horrible.
Horrible
image.
There's a reason why they have that bad image.
Yeah, there is a reason.
Themselves.
Yeah, I'm not saying
and I do feel
there isn't a reason.
I feel sorry for the good ones, because there are the good ones out there.
For sure.
And then there's the dickheads that were probably touched as a little boy in Catholic school.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. No,
you know who I'm talking about. The ones with the shaved head.
Yeah.
Right.
They all
the
have
ones that think that they're in the
haircut.
military.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it sucks.
Probably married to a girl named Catherine or something. I don't know.
Wow. Shout out to
Shout out to
Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah, shout out to Catherine. But yeah, they do have a bad rep for sure. Yeah, there are good cops. And then another thing too that someone had brought up is, you know, a lot of reason why that's being, you know, seen a lot is because now we have camera phones. Back then, I mean, they're like, that's been going on for years, but no one's been able to record it.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
document
because they would
it.
just shut their body cams off if they even had a body
and
cam.
not only that, when it first started being recorded, the cops would they would destroy people's
to stop their phones. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
They would
remember
try
that.
to take
Yeah, I
their
seen that too.
SIM cards and their SD cards from their phones. They were trying to stifle that as much as possible.
Right.
And now they know straight up they can't do that.
Yeah, they can't do that. So it's good that people are able to record that stuff, so that can be brought to light. You know, because a lot of bullshit happens. Behind the scenes that you don't know.
Right.
You know, I can be like, yeah, this dickhead cop, but he turned out to be a nice guy, or vice versa.
Right,
you know, so it's like it's good that people are starting to see certain things, you know.
I don't know if you guys saw this video. I saw it on Facebook, and there were these two black women, and they called the cops because their neighbor, or one of their neighbors, it was one of the girls, her neighbor, this older white gentleman.
Yeah.
I guess he had been, kind of harassing them or harassing her.
Put out a shotgun on him.
Yeah,
really?
She was, whenever she would walk out of her house, and he was on his like porch, or whatever the case may be, he would kind of like say slurs to her, and he would just harass her.
Yeah.
And this time in particular, her and her friend were walking to her house, and this guy pulled out a shotgun on them.
Whoa.
And like put it to their, directed to their face. And so they call the cops. Well, these cops were just class A, like just dickheads, bro, like pieces of shit.
And he was Spanish.
This one cop, he was Spanish, and so the girl. Sorry, my people. Sorry.
Hey, come on. I'm doing it justice.
There has to be, it's not only white cops. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I thought you meant my pronunciation.
They're just out there. But, basically, they called the cops because, one, they were obviously afraid for their lives.
Yeah.
And they needed to make sure that they would be safe.
Right.
And these cops came, and instead of trying to protect them and see, where they were coming from, they were kind of on the other guy's side in a way.
Okay.
To the point where, one of the ladies, she didn't live there, but she has kids, and one of her kids is sick. And so she was obviously very frightened. She, your stress levels go up, your adrenaline goes up.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person where, like, if I'm upset, my voice, I already have, like, a very projecting voice, but my voice, I will raise my voice.
Elevates, yeah.
Without, my voice will elevate whether I wanted to or not.
Right, yeah.
And so, her voice was elevated. She was very freaked out. And these cops weren't, this cop in particular, he wasn't really trying to help them out. He was asking more so like, okay, but did he go inside and come back out with it? You guys had time to leave. And, she's saying that, they're trying to explain, no, like, he literally bent down, picked it up, and, like, put it, she, like, aimed it in our direction.
Yeah.
And, she's freaking out because she wants to call her kids. Obviously, a lot of parents can resonate with this. Like, when something like that happens to you, you kind of just want to be close to your family, especially if you have a sick kid. You want to make sure that you're in contact and that, everything is okay. And I guess her battery was dying or something. And so, they were telling them, they were like, there has to be cameras around here somewhere. Like, there has to be a way that you guys can see. And the cops are like, oh, but where's the cameras? Where's the cameras? And they're like, bro, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a regular ass person. Like, just fucking check. Like, I don't know. And so it just was very obvious that they weren't trying to help them out.
Right.
And so it gets to a point where this officer keeps telling this woman to lower her voice, that she's being disrespectful to him, even though she wasn't cursing at him, wasn't calling him, out of his name, wasn't verbally really being disrespectful at all. Her voice was just elevated to the point where this other cop is like, oh, do we need to get her Baker acted?
Her what?
And I don't know if some of our listeners, maybe you don't know what being Baker acted is, but it's when you are a danger to yourself, to others, or you're planning to do something to hurt others.
Oh, that's
they
the term?
They can Baker Act you, which means that you will be put on a 72-hour psychiatric hold.
Whoa.
And so he was basically threatening her to be Baker acted.
Yeah.
And she was telling him, like, I'm not trying to be crazy, like, I'm not trying to, like, be wild, but, like, I just want to talk to my kids. Like, I just, she was just freaked out. She's like, I just had a gun put in my face, like, I'm just freaked out.
Sure. Hell yeah.
To the point where he arrests her.
Yeah.
And not only does he arrest her, but they take her down.
Oh, it was that video. The only time I see videos is when that stuff happens. When the slam, and then and then the shot. That's
right.
Okay.
And the crazy part was, it's not that she was necessarily resisting arrest. She just didn't understand what the hell was going on.
To the ground. Right.
Yeah. And so she's, she's not fully complying, but she's not actually resisting. She's just trying to understand. She's just like confused because one, I just had a gun put to my face by some old white dude.
Yeah.
Who, and I think that they said it was because, I guess that he had been, harassing them, and I don't agree with this term used or, with the reasoning used, but one of the women called him a fag.
Damn.
And so he was, I guess, so offended by the idea of being called a fag that he thought that putting a shotgun to their faces was the right solution.
Dumb.
And the cops even had the nerve to say, well, why didn't you call the cops when he was saying, saying these harassing things to you? And she's like, I'm not going to call the cops over some words. You know what I'm saying? Like, my life
You're
isn't
gonna call the
in
cops
danger.
and you get a shotgun pointed at you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the cops didn't do anything to help. I mean, the guy did end up getting arrested. But 2 days later,
But after she got slammed.
after she got slammed to the ground, charges were dropped against her, which is obviously because they're trying to cover their asses.
Right, yeah.
And the cop was suspended.
Yeah, and he was charged.
And
right?
he was.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he
I could
was
have sworn I
charged.
saw something that said he was charged. I think he was charged because I saw a video of him being released from jail on bond. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure he was charged and he was put in jail.
Yeah.
They arrested him.
Good.
Yeah,
That's
which
fucked-
yeah,
that's fucked
good.
So at least some consequence.
Yeah, that's fucked
Yeah,
up.
Which doesn't
and-
happen
if,
often.
If it even sticks, though.
It's good that I have been seeing like some cops finally getting charged for some bullshit that they've been doing.
Right.
Yeah, remember when that cop she thought that a nigga was in her apartment
Oh, and
she
killed
went
him.
into the she killed him. She went into the wrong apartment.
Wow.
Yeah, she went into the wrong apartment.
And killed
she-
somebody.
can you imagine you home, you chilling on your couch playing 2K or some shit, and some bitch
Shout out
busting
2K.
and starts shooting shots at you?
It's
Like,
fucked up. Yeah. And then she didn't get in trouble?
nah, she got charged.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I was
she
about
got
to say.
charged too, yeah.
Wow.
But
She definitely need to be charged. How do you walk into the wrong apartment? Like, I lived in an apartment building.
Yeah.
right, same.
There's
You know what I mean?
There's no fucking way.
Even if I came home shit drunk, plastered,
You know where
I
you
know
live.
what door is
Yeah,
mine.
You know where you live.
Right.
I feel like even if you lived there for a week, you still would know where you live. Even if you're new to the building.
How did she get in? That's what I always thought about. Like, did
I
she
want
break the
to
door down?
know
Like,
how.
Some people
Yeah.
don't lock their doors.
Some people-
It's
yeah, some people-
2019,
That's wild.
and some people still
I lock
don't
my
lock
doors.
their doors.
I
And
lock my doors.
but you know the
You ain't getting
crazy
in,
part
homie.
was that there were a lot of people supporting what she did, and a lot of people, it came down to
Yeah,
the
shoot
point
that
where-
guy in his apartment.
Right, and the
What?
crazy part was it came down to there having to be all this like evidence discussed just for people to be able to say, yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's 'cause
crazy.
people are so blindly in support
Yeah.
of police officers,
The
and they believe here's what most people don't realize: police officers are still human beings.
right.
Facts.
Yes.
You know what
At
I
the
mean?
end of the day, yep. They're just
They
like us.
feel like the minute someone becomes a cop, they are above the law,
They're the
and they
almighty
feel
power.
like
Power trip.
everything that they do is right. No,
Right.
there's some really fucked out human beings out there.
Yeah.
Facts.
For sure.
Really fucked up
Yeah,
human
yeah,
beings
for
out
sure.
there, and any one of them could become a cop.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So who's to say that that cop isn't racist? Who's to say that that cop doesn't just want to kill people?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or even against women, or specifically against men. There are people that have kind of negative notions. You can have a negative notion about any race group, gender,
Yeah.
anything. It doesn't,
People didn't like
or-
brown people a couple years ago. I was like, man, I didn't do anything. Like, what did I do?
Right. So it is one of those things where like anyone is capable of being any type of
Yep.
person. Just
For sure.
because it reminds me of a psychological study that was done many like decades ago, and it was basically they would put these people in this room with someone. It didn't even have to actually be a scientist or doctor or anything, but someone in like a lab coat, a
Okay.
regular ass person in a lab coat, and they had these buttons, and each button had a amount of like I think it's hertz of electricity or whatever that would shock the person in the other room. Now they can't see this person, they can only hear them.
Okay.
And their objective is to ask this person questions, and every time they get one wrong, they have to press a button. And each question they get wrong, they have to go up. The highest voltage can kill a person.
Whoa.
That sounds like a fucked up. I'm
Yeah.
never.
Right,
What kind
and-
of study
Who
is
signed
that?
up for? Who signed up for this?
The people that were, getting
movie.
supposedly shocked, they weren't actually getting shocked. But it's the whole perception that these people were
They're
actually
thinking.
getting. Yeah,
Yeah.
the people that were pressing the button thought that these people were getting shocked. And what they found from this study is that most people, even though they know it's wrong, and even though they feel like they shouldn't do this thing,
They still press the button.
they press the button because a person that they deem as an authority figure is telling them to do it.
Damn. That's crazy. No, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, if you told me to shoot this person, then fine, whatever.
Yeah, then I have to do it because if I don't shoot them, then like something, like maybe I'll get some type of negative repercussion
you
or
get
whatever.
consequences.
But even in this situation, in that study, they were never told, you're going to get in trouble if you don't do this, or, you're going to get, go to jail or anything like that. It was just the perception that an authority figure told them that they should do it.
That's because as children, we were raised to respect authority.
Authorities, yep.
Now, me, I was raised that way, but that don't mean I am that way.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. So, damn, hold on. What?
I don't even know what happened.
We got into some topics.
Yeah.
Holy crap! But no, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of people, they know to respect authority, but then it's like nowadays, it's like even like authority figures are still like can be corrupted.
Oh, for sure.
They can be corrupted. Always. You just got to be careful.
I mean, Luke was our president.
Right. Big.
We're not gonna get into that.
We're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get it. Not today.
But I definitely don't disagree.
That's too much. We want everybody to listen.
Right.
We don't know when to get turned off. But
All right,
nah, for sure.
I mean, that wraps it up.
I think so. Yeah, that was everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
That's everything for today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, this was
We ain't
awesome.
shit.
Don't forget it. We ain't shit.
And if you like it, please rate us on iTunes on the podcast app. We need 5 stars.
Right.
If you didn't like it, don't rate us.
Right.
We need
Nah,
5.
if you didn't like it, you better rate us.
Right.
5 stars.
Because I'll send some people to your house.
5 stars.
And for all those companies we promote.
Yeah, shout out to every single thing.
Right.
Shout out
Don't forget us. Slide into our DMs. Maybe send us an email.
Wow.
Email.
We're ready to
we got
some
an email.
sponsors.
We got an email?
Yeah, I showed you. We got an email, Instagram, Facebook.
Ain't nobody going to take the
Twitter.
time to email.
Hit us up
Hey,
on
go
any
ahead.
of our platforms.
Yes.
And we would love to be sponsored by one of you or all of you.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this after. I have to show you something. It's kind of dope.
Like, share.
Yeah,
subscribe.
for the people watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Facebook,
And
same thing.
give us suggestions on
what you want
topics.
to hear. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you guys want to hear us talk about? What are you guys interested in hearing or learning about? Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, anything current event wise, let us
and
know.
something definitely controversial.
Yes,
I'm trying to get heated in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
and I think that's a dope thing. We all have different points of view on all this stuff. You know what I mean? It seems like we agreed on like a lot of stuff, but
not
everything, but a lot of stuff. Yeah. So, but still, we had different reasonings for what we said. So I think that's dope. I think that's why us coming together for this is going to be good.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's going to be dope. So, on that note, hope you guys like listening, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Oh, follow our Instagram.
Oh yes. Go ahead and everybody drop their handles. Go ahead, Natalie. Go first.
Oh,
Wait, no, the
our Instagram. Yes.
The weed shit.
Hit us up on Instagram. The Was podcast. So THEWAS PODCAST. Same thing on Facebook. The Was podcast. You just search it up, you'll find it. And eventually on YouTube, I have to make that. Still, I'll make that today, so we can have that upload on there. And then our links to our social media will be on there too. So that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
Have
cool.
a great day, guys.
Yes. All right. Yes. See you next week. Bye.